What do you want me to say something about your show?
I shit on myself in the womb.
Stop, Phil.
You fucking stink.
You know what? Fuck this.
Oh, because it's Hollingsworth, but it's worth less.
I don't want to hear about whatever you have to say.
The worthless of the week.
Yeah. Hey, you just gonna sit up there the whole time?
That's the fucking Phil Fox Scorpion.
It's a move, man.
You fucking dummy. Ugh.
Then what the fuck? How is it racist?
Black people.
Oh, God. Oh, shoot me now, dude. Just shoot me now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Hollingsworthless Program Extravaganza. As always, I am one of your hosts, Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth, and we have most of the crew, most of the Hooligoons, most of the Fab Four. We have Sean the Mechanable McCann.
You know, at the end of the intro there, when it says "Shoot me now, shoot me now." God, I wish this came true.
Right. And we have the Coco co-host, Manulus Rojas Martin Jr.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
And no Phil. We 20 minutes ago, we all got a text from Phil saying he's not going to be able to make the podcast today. He needs to take care of himself, and that's the bottom line. He apologizes.
Stone Cold said so.
Yeah, he apologizes, and he's not going to be here. But yeah, so that's all that's all we're going to say about that. But we have somebody that's pinch hitting. I just texted this person and told him to come on now because we're gonna have this will be our first guest since we've put together the crew, right?
Yeah,
and
I have no idea who this is. Before you do it though, can I clean my camera? Because I have to walk over here to grab a towel real quick.
But I don't want real quick.
Just hold on.
They're here. Okay, hurry up.
Hold on.
Hurry up. Jesus. Way to be ready. What are you, Phil Fox?
I think I have an idea of who it might be.
Do you see? Can you see? He's in the lobby right now. Can you see it? Or no? Okay, good. Okay, hold on one sec, buddy. He's fucking ready to go. I can't wait. You ready, Sean?
I'm ready. I don't know who this is.
Oh
shit. Yeah.
Fucking
what's up, boys?
Tyler
Smith.
Nope.
It's even better who I thought it was gonna be.
What'd you think it was gonna be?
I thought you were gonna coax or talk like Alonzo Bowden into doing it or some shit. And so
wait, you think Tyler would be better than Alonzo Bowden?
Yeah, I mean I know Tyler. I don't know Alonzo like that.
Yeah, buddy. So okay, so we got in here right now Carla, Robert, Victoria. What's up, y'all? And I'm sure we'll get more as we go. But for those that don't know, Tyler is a good buddy of all of ours. Victoria says, "Hey, Tyler, long time no see."
Hey, Victoria. I remember
Tyler,
her from the parlor.
Yeah. So do I, biblically. Okay, I gotta stop. So Tyler is a good buddy of ours. We've all known Tyler for 10 plus years.
Yeah,
Centuries.
Easily.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy
dude,
to think about.
Fucking time flies. Jesus.
And whenever I go up to Seattle, I always stay at Tyler's. Like I was just talking to somebody about when I did Nate Jackson's room, and they were like, do they give you a room? And I was like, I don't even know, because I always just stay with Tyler, because I'd rather stay with a buddy, and we get to hang out and play Fortnite and watch movies. Fuck.
And fuck. I love
it. What up, kid sister? So here we are, the Hollingsworthless. By the way, Tyler, we're gonna do 6 hours today, so I hope you're ready.
Oh yeah, I paused everything. I'm the surprise guest, and I was even surprised myself.
So this is the first time I've talked to Tyler like live in a minute. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, man.
How was the fireman's gig that I hooked you up with?
It was good. I brought JR and Mike with me.
Okay. Nice. So you got to kind of split time with them.
Yeah, to buffer up that time, because I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do an hour.
Yeah, that's the whole
myself.
thing. Like, fuck that noise.
So I paid them each like like 10% of the
Okay.
final. Just kidding. No.
$10.
$10 each. No,
There
but
you
we had a
go.
great time. It was they had us there for a really long time though. Like I
Oh.
think I thought we are gonna be starting at 8, but we ended up starting at like 9:30.
Don't you hate that? And it's like you're ready to go. You just want to get it over with, and then
Yeah.
especially for those corporate events, and just such a shit show. So
Daphne says hi, Tyler.
Hey Daphne. I didn't
You know what I'm noticing here is like this is the first time that top right corner has been funny and coherent.
Whoa.
Amazing. Oh wait, this way right here.
Where's Phil, by the way?
He's
That's the
taking
corner
some
he
me
occupies.
time. We said it at the top of it. You weren't here, Tyler. But he literally texted us 20 minutes before this. We had this planned out. This was going to be like a big show, and we were doing it earlier than usual so more people could watch.
That's
And
so
20
funny.
minutes before, Phil doing Phil things, texted us all and said, "I'm not going to be able to make it." We're like, "Great, glad you let us know so far in advance."
Classic Phil.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Tyler, for those that maybe they didn't see it, Tyler was on the last episode of fucking Boo Bombing Stories, and that was one of my favorite stories ever, dude.
Oh man, yeah, I'm so grateful for that fireman gig because it was right after that other gig, and I was like, I needed that back-to-back gigs to regain my confidence. Otherwise, I would have hated myself for like 2 weeks, for 2 weeks until I got back on stage.
God.
Dude. Well, let's get into I was gonna say we should try and knock out everything that we have.
Yeah.
We have so many things.
Yeah, and some of them
Unfortunately-
are like honestly, they're like 3 or 4 months old, so I don't even know if they're really
Well, fuck it. Let's go. Let's see. First one. Bill Cosby's going to jail. Just kidding. That's how old the news shit is. No. Okay. Well, first, did you guys, Manny and I, Manny told me about this yesterday on Love in Black and White, and I started binge watching it last night. Have you, Tyler or Sean, started watching The Vow?
No, not yet.
No. I thought you were gonna say Chasing Cosby.
What is that?
It's a podcast about all of what Bill Cosby was accused of and like
No shit.
victim stories and everything. It makes you hate the guy. It makes you really hate the guy because it was like he was raping people and then waking them up and going, "You should really watch how much you drink and such." But anyways, I'll pay for your car, but only if you're a good student. Now get on out of here.
Wow.
It's like,
Holy
it was
fucking
some pretty fucked up
crazy.
shit.
How hard is it to listen to it with an erection?
I mean, like I listen to everything with erections. It's just normal.
PC Manny, can you,
Oh,
can you
God.
hop in here? PC
We just
Manny?
want to say here on the Hollingsworthless podcast that we don't condone nor think that it is funny with sexual assault in the world. We just want to say that this is a comedy podcast first and foremost, and that nothing said on here should be taken seriously. Back to you guys.
See, we got PC Manny here, Tyler. So you can say
I can say
whatever
whatever I
the
want.
fuck you want.
And you won't
he'll-
get canceled.
Yeah.
Great.
Just says the N word as loud as he can.
Exactly.
I mean, he's just being how he is offline. Victoria said,
God.
"Will Tyler be doing the songs that Phil does?" No, that's one thing we can't check listener emails because Phil's the one that fucking has the
access.
password. That So, all right, real quick on the Chasing Cosby thing. What streaming platform? The Vow? That's on HBO. It's on HBO. But Carla said, Tyler, that she's 3 episodes in and it's crazy about the Cosby thing.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
And let me see. As far as the Vow though,
What's the Vow about?
So
yeah, what is that?
it's
I didn't even start. I was gonna start it last night. It's too late.
dude. We watched. Justin, my buddy, came over and we watched like 3 episodes, but it's about. And Manny, you can correct me because I'm gonna say it very stupid, but Ally Mack, who was on Supergirl, I think.
Smallville back in the
Oh, I know about this.
So
Yeah.
this guy, like the first episode, this guy, like basically, he's supposedly a genius. Have you watched the whole thing, Manny?
Yeah. So this guy
Okay.
named Keith Raniere He created this, and remind me if I don't know if you're this far, Jay, but he was like some tech guy back in like, or maybe not a tech guy, but one of those like rah kind of guys in those corporate meetings who was like all about like do it for the company, but then that tanked.
Am I allowed to do
And
this?
oh yeah, you're good. You can smoke crack on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so anyways,
A guy's head just comes up from Tyler's lap.
Is this okay too?
Oh man. But yeah, anyways, he started this whole thing called Nexium, and it was really kind of one of those like self-help type companies that really just kind of
So I'm just gonna
go ahead.
Because it's still
It's
fresh,
been a while since I've
So here's the thing that's nuts is the first episode is kind of giving you the backstory and telling you about Nexium and EMP, which is like executive something. I forget what it stands for. But as you're watching this first episode and they're explaining it, you're going to be like, holy shit, dude, I want to sign up for this. Like there was a person that had Tourette's, this guy that like he would cling his teeth together and like had really bad Tourette's, and they brought him in and they basically, you know, like they dig down. This guy that created it too, like he's supposedly this genius. He spoke like 3 or 4 languages before he could even read and write, and and he, you know, has highest IQ ever, or all this other horse shit. But they cured this dude's Tourette's, and I mean, like this dude had an extreme version of Tourette's, and like then they were like this one dude that he did a documentary. He was brought in. And they were like, what's something that you have, or what's one of your problems? And he's like, I get anxiety when I'm driving. And they dig down and he said the next time he's in, you know, LA traffic, he's like, I'm supposed to be having anxiety right now. Why am I not having anxiety? It's just when you watch the first episode, you're gonna be like, okay, what's the problem? This sounds fucking great. There's some shit that you're like, this definitely has a Scientology vibe to it.
Yeah, and I mean, it was super like it felt philanthropic, where it was like they were helping people and doing all the right things. But then you start to see it take this turn, and I mean, I guess we won't ruin it, but let's just say
I'm only 3 episodes in, but
okay.
Right.
I'll just tell you where I've gotten to the part where it definitely is now like Carla just wrote. A lot of times you can tell they are cults off the jump. This is totally different. Agreed. It almost comes in as like an executive self-help type angle,
Right?
And they have a bunch of, you know, billionaire investors and shit like that, and there's also a very martial arts vibe to it, because you have these sashes, and like one of the people that ended up getting pretty high up in the organization, she even said at the beginning, I was like, these sashes are stupid. It's like, you know, like you come in as like a white sash, and then you can build up as you complete these self-help shit, and
Right.
But by the second and third episode, you're like, oh, this is fucking wild. So with and dude, I think there's like 9 or 10 episodes, and I'm only on 3, and it's fucking going crazy right now. So just to give you a little bit of where we're at right now,
I just Googled, by the way, Tourette syndrome. You can't cure that. I just had to.
They did on this
check.
dude. This
incurable.
dude, they did somehow. I don't know what the fuck they did. They watch the thing, and you'll see.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that he probably never had Tourette's.
Oh no! You see
one
this
of the
guy.
easiest things to fake, I'm guessing.
Well, okay, let me say this. So I got I like somebody tried to suck me into one of those things. It was called Landmark, and it was up here in Seattle. And
Wait, the movie theaters? I just wanted to go to a movie with you, man.
And I was sitting there, and I mean, it was kind of that same like self-help thing, and there was this girl and her husband, and they were like, yo, you should join it. And all these other people were like, yeah, you know, and I was like, let me think about it. And they were like, no, just do it now, pay the money now. And it was just that like trying to get you to do this shit without any like, you know, real thought into it, and spend the $700 so they all get paid. And then, you know, I'm going to be this amazing person afterwards, which is just bullshit. So,
hey, Manny, you're already amazing.
Why, thank you.
No, yeah. So this is where I'm at you have like, you always have somebody that's kind of above you that is like a mentor that you look up to. So this one lady, Sarah, her friend Lauren, who was like above her, they had to sign an agreement, or they made an agreement where Lauren was now referred to as the master and Sarah was her slave. And they would comment back and forth in it. And then Lauren said, Sarah, there's this. We have like a subdivision within Keith's overall Nexium thing. It's just for women. We want you to be a part of it. She goes out there. Long story short, they're branding like a brand on these women's bodies.
Yeah.
And it's fucking
like near the
crazy.
crotch. It's
Yeah.
fucking insane. So, but anyway,
Is it? I'm guessing it's his name.
It's his and Ally Mac's initials.
Oh,
crazy.
that's romantic.
But they give you a horseshit give you a horseshit thing that they say that is like it's like a line with a mountain, they say, but if you turn it sideways, it's A for Keith.
Oh.
But
what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say, Sean?
Yeah, so you're telling me the Superman show chick, her initials are also on these people's bodies, like branded?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking insane.
So what just so you know, I'm gonna if you're watching, so there's a line and they said that was the sky, and then they said there was a mountain under the line or an arrow which stood for Earth, which was a mountain. Then there was a squiggly line which was that water or something? But it if you turn it sideways, oh, okay, here you go. Manny's showing it. Zoom it in if you can.
Whoa.
Manny.
That is a gnarly burn.
Yeah.
Yo, dude. That's on a dude. They were doing everybody.
No, dude.
That was a girl.
Oh.
But here's
Just with
the thing.
manly hands. You wouldn't
Here's
want to
how
hand
bad it
that
is
person.
too. It wasn't even like a brand. Like it wasn't a brand that they heated up and they did it. They would take a hot needle and
squiggle it.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that looks squiggled. That didn't look like a nice clean
It didn't look
brand.
healthy. Yeah.
Did the Tourette's guy do it?
Hey, what's this over here? Maybe we should answer this question that whoever this is.
So
There's a
this
new
is
name
what
in here
Jay
asking
was-
if we're Christian.
Oh, like yeah, there you go.
Yo.
AM Ally Mac and then
Oh, that's clear.
yeah.
Oh.
Damn.
Hey,
Wow.
if no tropics, I think is what it's called here. If that's like a real thing you're saying, this probably is not the place for you. I'm just being honest. All respect.
Yeah. So I haven't finished. We'll just wrap this up on the Val thing. I haven't finished it. I'm 3 episodes in, and I'm fucking in for the whole thing.
Wow.
You've seen the whole thing, Manny, and it's good.
Yeah, it's really good, and you're just, I mean, like anything, it's like even with the Woody, like HBO does documentaries well. They leave you on these cliffhangers, and you're just like, fuck, now I gotta watch the next episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't remember if everything gets resolved at the end because they were still in the process of like filming, but you know, for the most part, yeah.
Oh man, I know.
Can we switch gears?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, you?
New
No,
Tropic.
no tropics. So they say, are we all left wing here?
Yeah, and
Let's
I
talk.
don't know what this has to do about anything.
No, I love this though, because I see these happen in YouTube comments or like just wherever. Never in real time where I'm like right here to deal with it. So it'd be cool if this happened in real time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Starts wiping his hands.
I'm just wondering.
By the way, kid sister, I did see Tomorrow War. It's awesome, and
Oh, okay. So that was actually good. It got a shit rating from a lot of people. But
Yeah.
it's action movie. It's it's a time.
I
traveling
watched
action.
it.
I liked
I would
it.
say it's watchable. I wouldn't say it was good.
okay.
Fun. It's action.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, yeah,
Fun
you're
to
like,
just get
there's gonna
lost
be
in.
aliens. Exactly.
Okay.
But don't think about the plot because you're like, oh, there's a lot of holes in this.
Right. Yeah.
Sipping on Emeretta asked, "Is this the same cult actress Catherine Oxenberg? I think it was that her daughter was in."
Mm.
Okay. All
No
right,
idea.
guess we don't-
You know what's? Oh, are we gonna comment on that new topic or?
Yeah, but they already said that before. Is this safe space?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what that means. Safe space. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel less safe with him here. That's for sure.
I'll for sure. I'll PC it up if we need to. We're
You
fine.
know what came out that was good was that Fear Street by R.L. Stein.
So that
on
was I heard that
Netflix.
was great. So what is that? How many episodes is that? Or is that
So
only one season right now?
It's 4 movies.
Oh, okay.
Each one's coming out Friday this month. So the first one is this last Friday, and the next one's this upcoming Friday. And it takes place in this one town where there's like all these murders happening,
Mhm.
and they're like they can trace it back to all these different years. So each Friday movie is going to be about a different year in the same place. Same
Is this
like
a documentary?
no, it's by R.L. Stein, bro. Oh God, you're like I forget different generation. It's the guy who wrote Goosebumps.
Yeah. It's sorry.
You didn't read every single Goosebump.
No. I saw the movie and I was like, this is dumb.
See, Night of the
But
Living Dummy.
it's more of like the adult. It's an adult horror film. Like it's not like the children's Goosebumps. It's definitely more adult. So
Okay,
I recommend it.
I'll take a gander at it.
The
tonight.
other one that was really good was that No Sudden Moves with Don Cheadle that's on HBO. It's kind of like a crime mystery kind of thing. So yeah, it was.
Victoria asked if I was high. I already know.
Yeah, I'm blowing smoke into his square.
Emeretta asked who's the guy in the top left? That's our buddy Tyler Smith. Is Phil okay? As far as we know, yes. He texted us 20 minutes before this started that we had planned for over a week, and said that he wasn't going to make it, and he had to take time for himself. So whatever. Yeah, I don't know. So,
Well, okay. I just want to ask, since Tyler's my generation, do you remember Camp Anawana? Lucha shorts on Nickelodeon.
No,
Man, God,
I didn't watch a lot of Nickelodeon, man.
Man, I feel like that's the like I know every Nickelodeon show, and that's how I could tell time back in the day was by what show was coming on. So,
Mm.
do you remember?
I didn't have cable.
Camp Crystal Lake.
no.
I do.
What's that?
That's the Jason, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Hey.
The one thing that I always hate about Jason was when that black guy was fighting him and like boxing the shit out of him, and he had him right next to the ledge. He just had to throw one more punch, and he couldn't throw a punch, and then he got murdered. I was like, God damn it! So,
The black dude.
yep.
Well, were you shocked?
No. I mean, that's how shit goes. Oh, Victoria knows what I'm talking about with Hey Dude and Dude Ranch, and so.
What the fuck is that?
Anyways, it's young people shit. Sorry.
All right.
Your tone.
What's this? Who has a couple breaks up after being handcuffed for 123 days?
I heard
Yeah.
about this. So
That was
somebody fill me in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because see, now we're hitting on. Oh, I do have it right here. Look at that. Damn, I lost most of my tabs I left open for all these stories. Yeah. So this is funny. This this is one of those weird stories. So, this couple that was about to dump each other, like they were done with each other, and so they thought, well, maybe the last thing we should do to see if we really, if this is real, like, should we really dump each other? We should handcuff ourselves to each other for a year. And that was everything from using the bathroom to whatever. So where's this one part of the story, though? This was the last ditch effort starting on Valentine's Day to save their rocky romance. So they, one of them, I can't tell, they're Russian, so I can't tell the names.
Well, take your time.
Whoever. Oh, it's the dude.
No. Take your time.
Why?
I don't want you to rush it.
Oh, yuck. Oh, so disappointed.
So angry.
So the dude said, I decided it'll be an interesting experience for me. And so they documented their inescapable experiment on Instagram to their 7,800 followers. That's not a good payoff at all. It will bring into my life new bright emotions, which I did not experience before, but instead hellfire rained down, as he described it. And then they cut their things off early after 123 days. That's all, dude. It's not a great story. There's more to it. I'm just bored with it already. I can hear it.
So
Yeah.
they handcuffed each other and then it didn't work. Is what we're saying?
Yeah, because she said that she wants to live her own independent life and grow as an independent person. So
Okay. All right. Here we go. So here's the question for every one of us.
All right.
The shitting should be
Russians, man.
solitary. BS. Excuse me. BS Jerry. Sorry. Okay. Here's my question for all of you. One person, you have to handcuff yourself. Somebody not just random. Some person you have to handcuff yourself to them for 1 month. Who do you pick?
Oh, so you want to do this? Well, you wouldn't want to do it.
You just have to do it. You have to, but you
just have to
can
pick
pick
somebody.
who you're going to get to, or who you're going to handcuff to.
Wait, and how big is the handcuff chain?
It's we'll say it's got 4 feet on it.
Okay. So like if you're
So you
sitting,
can go in the bathroom, and they can be
Okay.
outside.
And we have to know them, huh?
You have to know him. You can't be like, oh, Kim Kardashian or whatever.
I was gonna say thing. I got a loophole.
Yeah.
I mean, Crystal easily for me. I just man.
Because she listens
That
to this
makes sense.
podcast. Let's see.
I can't pick my dog.
Ah,
Be
Uh,
My
great.
no,
dog goes
that'll
with
be a
me
first
everywhere. Oh,
yep. I can't wait till your girlfriend
God.
hears that.
oh, right. Yeah, my girlfriend.
Too late.
I don't care who it is, dude. It sounds like the worst thing ever. So
I know.
It's like
So you got to pick someone though. I might pick Sean just to fucking torment him.
fuck. See, and I couldn't pick you because of that.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Get like
you're just
lopsided
waking up.
handcuffs. That'd be
Hey, what's going
hilarious.
on, Sean? How's your day?
I'm trying. What I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to think of like the lightest person I know. Like so, like if I killed them, it wouldn't be such a drag to like have to pull them around everywhere I go.
You know any little people?
No.
Brad Williams?
Reston Porgan.
Oh,
Ugh.
God.
Ugh. Ugh. Yuck.
Yeah. Who?
Yeah. What about you, Jay? Phil?
Jesus. No. Man. I'm trying to think. Okay, who's somebody that has like you got to think like who has same interests? So, fuck. Dude.
Oh, Natasha. She said I pick Jay. All I'll do is fart. That's a game I don't think you want to get involved in. You're gonna lose.
Yeah, Jay would murder somebody with a fart.
That's another reason I wouldn't do that. I'd only be within 4 feet of Jay.
Taking
Ugh.
shit. Yeah. I mean, think about
No.
that. It's
Yeah,
like
what you guys don't understand is fart is short for fuck a real tall.
Is it?
Natasha.
Oh man.
Phil and Sean, Victoria.
That would
Phil
be
picks
Fuck
you,
no.
Sean.
no.
Phil who?
Daphne said it definitely would not be my boyfriend.
Wow.
That would put a lot of tension on the relationship.
Yeah, it really would.
And you handcuff yourself to your Beamer, Sean.
I feel like
Nah.
that chick that broke up with that dude, when they handcuffed, I'm guessing they were breaking up because the guy was probably too clingy or too in her space. And they're like, well, what should we do? Well, how about this? I got an idea. Let me just propose it. You know, I think this will benefit both of us. But why don't I handcuff myself? I mean, why don't we handcuff ourselves to each other?
Yeah.
I'll be on the hand that you use your phone with.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. That's a fucking tough one. I'm trying to think who loves movies and video games.
Yeah. Tony Baker.
Yeah, dude.
For a month.
I mean, Carlos is a big movie and video game. Maybe Tyler. Fuck,
Well, there you go.
dude. And then if I'm just like stressed, I can just be like, Tyler, can you hand me some weed?
Yeah, maybe we just fuck each other.
I hope that's some good weed. It's got to be some very strong weed. From behind, I'll be like, oh, he's got long hair. Fuck it.
Just a little relaxed, yeah.
And by the way, for everybody, and also Tyler, you're officially the first guest we've had on here since our new format.
Ooh.
Thank you for jumping in and
Yeah,
subbing.
seriously.
Yeah, man. Especially on this lengthy episode.
Yeah.
Thanks.
6 hours.
I always felt like I could replace Phil, but I appreciate you guys.
I
I don't think Sean's. So Sean still hasn't chosen anybody.
I know.
Oh God. I can't even think any. It sounds horrid. I can't.
Maybe
think
one of your parents.
No, because I want a relationship with them after. That wouldn't work. Yeah.
So you got to think of your interests and who.
No, I know who it is.
Who?
My landlord.
There you go.
Here's why. Because we have a business relationship right now, and so I could keep that. Like we have a transactional relationship, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't have to necessarily like be overly nice or entertained because there's a like if you're hooked up to one of your friends, dude, there's gonna be a like conversation happening. You have to entertain each other and all that shit. Fuck all that. I get her 4 feet apart. We watch different shows, so she can watch TV. I'll watch on my phone. we'll just get lost in the whole thing.
You're
I don't even
making
know
me
her first
rethink.
name.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Do I know a mute?
I was going to take this real dark, but I went the other way.
Well, go ahead. What is it?
No. That's all right. We're just getting into the group.
All right. Anti-discrimination is morphing into discrimination. Whose is that?
That sounds like Sean.
That sounds like me, but I don't.
That's funny. I have some that like you guys remember that this, I think I've heard this secondhand, but you know that the chop like on Capitol Hill, that whole
Right.
The chop?
during like chop the whole
That
like
was when they took over
Chaz.
Chaz, the whole
they
like
took over
school
Capitol
block
Hill.
that was taken over, and there was like people reclaiming it for the people, and they had all of these sectioned areas that were segregated to make people more comfortable, and some of them were coloreds only. And it's like,
we just want to say here on the Holly's Worthless podcast that colored was used during the 50s and 60s, and it is no longer
people of
used.
color.
There
Sorry,
you
people
go.
of color.
Was that an honest fuck up?
Yeah, it was. It was honestly, it was an honest fuck up. I wouldn't say.
But and I know somebody has this bit. I can't remember who it is, but that's a thing though. You're still saying colored people. You just switch the words and say people of color. It's fucked up.
Anwar Newton in Phoenix has that bit. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
And then he says,
Crazy.
he says
Now
he
I'm
wouldn't
embarrassed.
say.
Now I actually need Manny in my real life.
He says, he goes, you wouldn't say a person of retard.
Yeah, that exactly.
Yeah.
Anwar Newton. It's a brilliant joke he has.
I think that's what it was. I'm trying to remember I think it might have been Bill Maher or something, but I think that's what the topic was around what you just said. It was in the effort of anti-discrimination. It morphs in, right. There was the example was that mayor who's like on her second term now. And so she's a black mayor, and she says she's not going to grant any interviews to anybody but black journalists. And so that didn't go over well at all, and so then it was that type of thing. Yeah, it's weird how we've taken this whole turn like that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of signs in my neighborhood. I've been writing a bit about this too, but it's you know how there's like stop Asian hate signs now on like a lot of like progressive people's windows, but around here they're putting Asian in yellow font and everything else in white. And I'm like, you guys, that's like a little bit I don't know.
It's interesting how woke you are for Asians, but not black
it's
people.
toned. I don't fucking know, man.
Dude, Bradley Stewart Jeffrey brought up the Billy Wayne Davis joke, which was great because he said he went to an arts and crafts store and he was like, "Excuse me, can I get some colored pencils?" And they were like, "Hey, whoa, slow down, hillbilly." He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll take the black ones." This is fucking stupid.
So, okay. What were you saying though, Tyler, before you said quote the colors? Because I fucking
it was an area for people of color only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means there's an area for whites only.
Yeah. So basically what it was on, the Chaz Chop Zone, you could, like, if you were, black, you could go into this place and it was supposed to be a safe space for you to vent. But I'm kind of with Tyler. I'm just like, now you're creating, segregated zones. And it's like, but first off, like, you can't just take over a fucking city. Like, that shit is crazy to me. It's like, you can't just, it just makes a movement look horrible. It's like, oh shit, we're just going to take over whatever the fuck we want to take over. And, it just.
I'm looking at the comments from Emeretta
and
Natasha. Natasha said a lady from church called me quote colored a few years ago. She's the nicest person, just a bit out of touch. And then
Emeretta was out of touch a few years ago. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, Emeretta said, I appreciate PC Manny, but I was helping a neighbor with their groceries. The next day she called me saying another neighbor came up to her and said, I saw you with a colored girl yesterday. What the fuck?
Well, you know what?
See,
like,
this is what happens when you change the lingo every fucking 2 years. People get confused.
I was actually going to say that because
just a heads up, Tyler. I don't think colored was a few years ago.
But
Jesus
whatever.
Christ.
It's interesting to think because I'm with you. It's like, like we don't say colored anymore, right? But
No.
here's the thing. It's like, think about this.
I mean, we don't.
Yeah.
Tyler does.
This is people on Chaz, man. I haven't left my home for like a year and a half. All right.
Okay, but think about this, right? So for us, we're gonna be those old people someday who are like, we're gonna look at somebody and be like, "Hey, he's really nice." Whoa, old man, you can't call him he. Like what the fuck are you doing? You can't say she.
Be like, yeah, man, he's black, and people are like, whoa, we don't say black anymore. I'd be like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Exactly, because it was okay for that time. Even Martin Luther King at one point was saying, if you were, a colored, blah blah blah, you be proud and this and that.
And when we're in like 40 years, Tyler will still be saying colored.
And I use the words that I grew up with. Okay.
Jesus. Right.
But no, I mean, that's the thing. It's always changing. It's always evolving. And it's like, shit. How many times have we gotten in trouble? I mean, recently, just for calling somebody she, or not saying them. You're not using my pronouns, and I'm like, fuck. Give me a chance to learn all this. But it's new to me. I grew up on he, she is, the norm.
Yeah.
So,
Sean,
that's okay. This right here on the same, you can say anyway. So
let it out, Sean. Let it out.
I got it.
This is not a safe space to answer that one guy's question.
It's so funny. It's like it reminds me of that Dave Chappelle thing. If you got hate in your heart, let it out.
I'm gonna change mics real quick because I have to play this video because it's the most, and you got to catch what happens. Dude. It's
change mics. Just play it into the mic.
Well, you have to. Okay, yeah, no, I can just do it in the mic. You're right.
Okay.
You don't have to see the video.
Do we need context?
No, you don't. You don't. This is a video. I'll just give you the here's the context for you. Okay. It's a video of a dude, single shot, close up, him getting his beard trimmed.
Okay.
He has a nice beard. It's a good looking beard, nice lines, fits his face well. Ready?
Cool. All right, let's do this.
Here we go.
This is my husband. I used to ask him to shave his beard, although I think he always wanted one. I couldn't stand the feel of it on my neck. Instant flashbacks of my stepfather raping me. Don't get me wrong, his beard still gives me triggers some days. But I just know those days have to ask him to back.
Okay, so here.
Tyler. I used to ask him to shave his beard, although I think he always wanted one.
Oh, really?
I couldn't stand the feel of it on my neck.
Oh.
Instant flashbacks of my stepfather raping me.
Okay.
Who's the guy going? Okay.
It's this guy.
Man.
What the fuck?
What the
wow.
So what I do is I get on the comments to go, or I go into the comments because I wanted to see what that looked like how people would react to that.
Sorry.
And what you think happened didn't happen. People got, I'm telling you, I didn't see anything that was on her side. They were all like, dude, what the fuck was that?
Oh, really? Yeah.
It was crazy. There was a couple in there that said, let her speak her truth. I remember that. But it's totally injecting this thing. And so then I started thinking about it. That whole intent thing we talked about in other episodes. What was her intent behind releasing that? So again, remember, it was a video of a dude getting his beard trimmed, her boyfriend on front, right? So she's not even owning it. She puts him on front. So then I think, why did she do that? Why did she say all that stuff? What those words she used in putting that video out, what was the value in that? That was strictly for her to get attention. That's it.
It puts her in a victim position, which is being celebrated by today's society. And it'll get her more views because it's going to be like, hey, I'm a victim. It's like, boom, look at that. It's kind of, it's weird. You'll see this happen in like comics posts. They'll like say something that horrible happened to them, and then they'll like end it with like here's my booking information.
I've seen that, dude. I've seen that though.
Dude, it feels like that. Yeah, it feels like, I'm not saying that anybody's like experience isn't valid, but you notice it. The people who are the loudest are usually the most unfunny comics who are just like trying to get everybody else canceled and then get booked. So I don't know.
It's to finally become a part of a group, man. You even look like, all these all these people that are going out. There was just a thing that happened. Oh, that's what it was. So there was, I think there was a dude who was in the woman's. He claimed to be transgender. He's in the women's sauna, and he's completely naked in there. And then there's kids in there, little kids with their parents, with the moms. And dude, these moms come out and they're like, "Oh fuck no!" So they walked up to the person running the spa, and it's called Wee Spa. I don't know what that is, but it's Wee Spa. And
if it was a guy in there, it was a wee spa. Okay.
Just Tyler's.
I'm very stoned. That's why I thought it was
Wee spa, Jesus.
Easy audience right now.
They say that because the guy in there, said he identified as a woman, they were cool with it. The thing is it was a dude, like straight up, just a guy that walked in there and did that. It was bonkers.
Man.
He's like, this boner is just a giant clit. Don't worry about it.
So then there's I think that was the one. If I'm messing it up, it really doesn't matter because the whole thing's stupid. But then all these two groups came out and started protesting each other. So there was one side that was protesting the fact that happened, and there's other side saying no, she should be able to do whatever she wants, however she feels. And then it got into this huge fight. But as I'm looking at all these people who would spend time either side going out and doing that, you look at all of them and you clearly see these people. This is the piece of kid sister. This is the piece, like the piece of control that they can finally get in their lives, right? They've been either bullied, so now they become the bully, or they've never been able to control a situation. So here they are dressed in black or dressed in, flags or whatever their thing is, and now they can go out and be this bully that always bullied them. And you can see there's a bunch of dorks out there. You know what I mean? It's just
sorry. Carla said, and this is awful, but I'm sorry about this, Carla. Carla said I was raped when I was 20. So all I'm going to say is even that with therapy, there was no way I would have said it the way she did. Yeah, which is
of course
fucking,
not.
Yeah.
Because dude, there's a lot of people that have there's a ton of people you don't even know that have dealt with sexual assault. Yet, so why? I guess what I'm trying to say is it's. I hate when I see that kind of thing, or when anything that dilutes the real times those things should be talked about. Like, you hear it too often with any kind of group thing. There's so many different ones out there that it starts to become diluted because people start to claim things under the guise of, affecting that group or doing something discriminatory to that particular group. And then when something real happens, it's been so diluted that you don't pay attention to the real stuff anymore.
Right. Hold on one sec. Fucking Wrinkles is going crazy here. So Natasha said, I think it was Natasha said, so does she plan on shaving every guy's beard she comes in contact with? That's such a fucking, what was the guy's reaction that did the side by side with the video? Was he just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's listening and he's like playing along, and as soon as she says the rape part, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he hangs up and then he just stops it. Because that shit goes on for the full extent of TikTok, like however long that is.
Carla said, I'm okay, everybody. It just bothers me when people try to capitalize off it. 100%. 100%.
What about that boyfriend who's keeping the beard after the girlfriend's like, it just reminds me of when my dad raped me. And he's like, well, not losing it. So just get used to it.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's bonkers. She talks to him about that, she says too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know, dude.
This might be time for a PSA, a public Sean announcement.
Oh shit. I don't know if I'm ready for one yet. We might have to, let's read emails.
Hey, what's that? If it rains and if it
here, no, I do. I remember. I do have a PSA. I do have a PSA. I got it right here. So give me the intro thing because I'm stalling.
Oh man, I forget how. Okay, let me see if I can do it.
Make it up.
Hey, what's that? It's another public Sean announcement.
Hey,
is this the normally Phil does? Sorry.
Yeah.
this is Phil's.
Go ahead, Tyler. Hit it.
Oh, no, you did it for me.
Something happened here. I'm trying to find my
Divine said, "What's that?
That was me.
Could it be?"
Oh yeah. What's that? Could it be a public announcement?
We're
Sorry,
gonna
that
have
was
to go on
me.
to something else because
I fucked up. I fucked up
find it.
I fucked up the
I-
topics.
I see
but,
it. The First Amendment explanation.
No, we
Or
did that
you already
last
do that?
week.
Okay. All right.
I thought this was interesting.
Got it.
So, oh, you got it. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. It's time for a public announcement.
So since yesterday was the 4th of July, I thought I'd read something from one of our past presidents, Theodore Roosevelt, the namesake of the teddy bear. And it's something just a little quote. It's a quote he put out that you should stir on and see, how it might affect your life or how it might. Yeah, here, let's go. So it is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, because there's no effort without error or shortcoming, but who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself for a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst,
if he fails,
at least
he
he fails while daring greatly,
greatly,
so that his place shall never be those cold and timid souls who neither victory nor defeat. I apologize that we were interrupted by Jay as I was reading that, so I will start again from the beginning.
No,
It is not the critic who counts.
The reason I was reading it, I thought that was, and it is. I have that quote saved on my profile on Instagram as one of my stories. Yeah,
That's a great one. It
Dude,
means
I
don't
love
read
it.
the comments. That's what it means. Don't read the comments.
Seriously. All right, so
Doesn't
we have to end it now.
And
Mandy.
that's been another public announcement. Oh yeah.
I think we just proved something this episode.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
So I thought this was very interesting. Former NRA president promoted gun rights at a fake graduation set up by Parkland parents. So I don't know if you remember the Parkland shooting a few years back, but there was a kid who was killed in it, and his parents, I think that they took and created a fake graduation with as many people who had died and that would have graduated this year from gun violence, put all the chairs like as empty chairs and told these NRA speakers to give a commencement speech for a class that was virtually doing their graduation. And basically this NRA guy goes up there, two of them, and gives a speech about, hey, your Second Amendment rights are this, and, you'll go on someday to do this, this, and this. And basically they recorded it, but basically the people of or the parents of the dead, student were basically just kind of showing that like, hey, we can do something about this. And, all I'm going to do instead of just sit here and bitch about it, we're going to put stuff into motion and action. So I thought it was kind of cool. I could see Sean's wheels
trying
turning.
to understand. So the Parkland students' parents put on a fake graduation.
Yes, for all the kids who would have graduated.
For all the kids that would have graduated last year that have passed from a school or from gun violence, they're saying.
Yes, sorry. So it's 3,000. Let's see, more than 3,000 socially distanced chairs. So it was 3,000 kids who died who would have graduated this year from gun violence. So they put all 3,000 chairs, and the NRA speaker spoke to those 3,000 chairs, thinking it was a virtual graduation, but it was fake, and it was basically to show that he was speaking to those 3,000.
Oh, they set him up. They told him it was going to be a graduation. That's what what's fake
Did he still
about it.
do it?
Yeah, he did it. He didn't know until after the fact, and now he won't comment on what he said to the kids.
That's so funny. It's
Yeah,
like, man,
So-
this audience is fucking
Got 'em.
dead.
Yeah, but yeah.
So so that's fucked up. That
Yeah.
they did that to the NRA guy.
Yeah, but they just wanted to show, you know, they wanted to put words in. Here, I'll read just
Here,
a snippet from it.
Yeah, just super quick though.
Yeah, go for it.
This is like a kid dying, like a 16-year-old kid dying from drowning in a river. And then you go over to one of his friends that he used to go like on the river all the time with and said, "Hey, can you give us, he died. Can you give us a few words about him,
Mm-hmm.
And then he like says, "Oh no, you don't say anything about him dying." Yeah, it's basically setting somebody up so they talk about a thing like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna go so far. He loves the water, man. He can hold his breath forever. You should see it. Sometimes I think he's drowned, but now he always pops back up." And you're like, "Oh, guess what? You just said that to a funeral." Like, dude, you can't. You set people up like that. That's stupid. That's
well,
dumb.
I mean, I think it was just here. I'll read it. Let's see. A former NRA president was invited to give a commencement speech to a school that doesn't exist, and was set up to make a point about gun violence by an organization founded by the parents of a student killed in the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. The former NRA president and current board member, David Keene, delivered the commencement speech to more than 3,000 socially distanced chairs as a part of what he thought was a rehearsal for a graduation at James Madison Academy. The speech was recorded by the nonprofit group Change the Ref, founded by Manuel and Patricia Oliver after their son Joaquin was killed at the high school in Parkland in February of 2018. So basically, they wanted to make a point and are trying to get people to make change, just to avoid loopholes with guns and everything like that. So, yeah, I thought it was cool. If you get a chance to see the video, yeah, he set him up.
Check it out.
Yeah.
And Victoria wants to know what the aquarium cage looking thing is behind you, Manulus.
Oh, I keep penises in there. Yeah. No, it's just it's a bunch of geodes. Funny enough, some of them are from Morocco, and the guy lied to me and was like, no, they come out of the ground and they have like purple and maroon and all this other shit. But then we left them in the sun one time and they just turned to white. So the guy was full of shit. So they try to get you to buy all these like geodes. So anyways.
What's a geode?
Like
a rock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why?
Sorry, I don't know. I'm not an Earth guy. I failed geography and or whatever the shit was. So
okay. What's this? Miami condo collapses. How should victims' families be compensated? I mean, it's come out that 2 days before they were showing all the water damage, and then some people left in 2019 because they were like
seeing the
there's
cracks.
and they were like millions of dollars needed to be invested to fix all this shit, and so yeah, how do the families get compensated?
Yikes.
I mean,
what did they tell that NRA guy that he was there for?
Just to give a commencement speech.
Yeah,
that's
they
it.
lied to him. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I love that Tyler's like 3 hours late.
Sorry, I had to look.
That's
I
a
had to
good point, though. It's
I hear you. I think basically they just wanted to make him look foolish, and basically say we need to. This guy was sitting here I think that they wanted him to talk about the Second Amendment, though, and how important it was, as opposed to,
it was completely set
late
up
on everything.
There was nobody there, and they knew that when they set it up. Like that was the whole point, was a gotcha thing. You know what I mean? It gets nothing anywhere. That just creates more division. It's so stupid, and it's so uninformed. Drives me crazy.
I don't think I'm doing it justice, but you should watch it, and then we should.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
So,
just know that when I hear that kind of stuff, man, the first thing that sets me into a certain headspace is when they start to call it an assault rifle. Instantly, I know we're going off into a strange.
Oh yeah, they
place.
didn't call any of that, and I mean, I think I'm hopefully speaking for the group that I'm with, but it's like, I'm not saying we should get rid of guns at all. I think that we just need, to close loopholes. Like, you shouldn't just be able to sell shit to anybody at a gun show, and like stuff like that, or even just be able to print, your own gun and then do whatever you want. And I mean, we we probably disagree on that.
We might.
Yeah. So,
who knows?
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't necessarily want my felon cousin to have be able to just print shit and just go do whatever the fuck he wants. So,
I don't want him to either.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
No, it's illegal.
Because I mean, I got a 3D printer right there. You saying I could just make a gun?
Oh yeah, I think you can get the print for that.
Yeah, you can get
I'm in a felon having a gun. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
compensation for the families in Miami, how much?
All of it.
yeah, whatever funds they had, I
Yep.
don't give a shit if they are an LLC. I think that just till they're fucking. I mean, it should be at the very least, $1 million per family or $1 million per life lost. So
The city needs. I think the city should have to pay for some of that, man. The fact that they knew the shit was like that and standing like that for years on end and still never made them shut down. You can suggest to fix it, but dude, that was at a whole nother part. And actually, the worst news came out today of the whole thing.
What?
So
Here you go. Somebody's BMW was crushed in that fucking thing. Sean has a BMW. I don't know if you know, Tyler.
yeah, it's a running thing.
Wait, what kind of BMW?
740 IL, the long one. So
I love Tyler's just like, what the fuck?
I would too if I heard that. There were pets inside that second building that was still standing, and it went to court one last time, and the judge said no. And so, dude, all these pets died. They crumpled that thing down with all the pets inside still.
You couldn't get. Wow, are you shitting me?
That's when it got sad.
That's fucked up.
Jesus.
But I mean, God, can you really put a price tag on life?
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean,
You just said $1 million.
Yeah, I mean,
which is nothing.
Yeah,
True.
I mean, how many people are they estimating were lost in that?
It's like 150, I think.
Yeah.
150. I mean, yeah, whatever this company is worth and whoever was running the shit, all of it needs to be. They all need to be bankrupted and paid out.
I kind of noticed that they're always saying it's the Florida building. Like they never say what city it is. I think we all know
Miami-Dade, I think, right?
Yeah,
it is Miami-Dade. I saw that on the door.
Why do they say that?
I don't know. It's interesting. I thought it was some sort of conspiracy. They're like trying to hide which city, so it's like they don't want to ruin tourism or something.
Dude,
it was the second plane that took it
could
down.
be actually. That makes sense.
Speaking of conspiracies, I have been bombarding Sean with the fucking ones I see on TikTok.
Oh God! Okay,
I
what are we
can't
looking at
get
now?
enough of them. There's so many on TikTok, and I love them all. Today, I saw one. They said that supposedly they have a cure for cancer. I sent that one to you, Sean.
Yeah,
did you see that?
I did, but I didn't like who was delivering the message. That was tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no. I mean, I'm sure they're getting closer to being able to cure cancer, but
I'm sure they could. But they make all this money off of treating it.
yeah, but I
Right.
mean, you think about this: who wouldn't want to be the most famous person ever known or the most famous company ever known for creating a cancer cure?
Probably the person
guy who gets
richest person ever.
Yeah, exactly. The guy who wants to be rich as fuck. That's who.
I'll play it.
Sean said it better than I did. These
Here,
rich motherfuckers.
I'll play it for you. Let's see.
There is now a cure for cancer. The University of Edinburgh has just successfully tested a cancer drug that will kill the cancer without damaging the surrounding tissue. This is beyond human.
This is
So
some
she said-
thought talking over a video on her
No,
TikTok.
no. Show.
Definitely not. All right, here I'll show.
Show. Yeah.
Oh boy.
You always got to show who's saying it.
Oh, that looks like a trustworthy source.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the person below her? Was that?
I don't know.
Was that
Somebody
Ruben?
stitched. Let's Google University Edinburgh. Edinburgh. Cancer. Let's see. Cancer. Cure comes up as the first thing. This is okay. This is from HeraldScotland.com. University of Edinburgh scientists successfully test cancer killing. This is wait. Let me see what the date is on this. Okay. Yes, I accept Herald. May 31st. University. There's the title. University of Edinburgh scientists successfully test cancer killing Trojan horse drug.
What's the website?
This is Scotland, HeraldScotland.com. But you can, when you go to Google, it's on ed.ac.uk.
Here's the thing, though.
National Post.
there's so many different forms of cancer. You know what I mean? It's like there's no one miracle shot
Right.
thing. So
There's lung cancer. There's the cancer of Phil's comedy. There's all these different. And how do you cure most of those? You have to kill him.
yeah.
Scottish scientists invent sugar bomb, which destroys cancer cells in seconds. I don't. Okay, interesting. So
Sugar bomb?
who knows? Maybe you heard it here first, guys, and then it's gonna, then you'll hear from actual people that matter.
All right. Next conspiracy theory.
I didn't. I was gonna bring it up.
I got one. You guys.
Yeah, go
know,
for it.
You guys
Go for
been
it.
talking about the UFOs that's been going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
What do you got?
What's the latest?
I mean, like, well, they just released all the president or the government findings. Sorry, that 6-page document or something.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I got to read that still. People I heard were let down. There was like nothing real in there.
Well, that's the thing. They're not going to tell you
Right.
everything about
Well,
it. Right?
it just essentially says that they don't know. They're like, yeah, we have all these videos, but we don't know. But what I think and what my theory is that they're just like implanting these videos. I think they're all fake. Everything's fake. It's they're just trying
All
to
the
make us
UFOs?
think. I think all the footage is fake. I think it's fake, and I think they're just gonna create this fake imaginary enemy, and eventually we're gonna have to go to war with them, and then we're gonna have to fund them, and then we're gonna have to be more scrutinized about security. Like,
That seems crazy.
I don't know. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards.
Whoa.
Blow me up. I really
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
You know what though? That makes sense, right? That's when I mean, because look, we're going into inflation. Like the economy's going to start getting all screwed up, and the thing that always normalizes and then makes a country profitable or make a ton of money is war. And who do we go to war with right now? That makes absolute sense. Everything's orchestrated.
Was it you that I mentioned this on the podcast? And I think was it you, Tyler, that was saying that was your theory, is that the world is so small now that everybody can communicate with everybody, that we need a common enemy. Okay,
Yeah, we need
Look
like
at BS Jeffrey right there.
an enemy that we can't just tweet at and go like, "Hey, are you guys really trying to kill all of us?" And they're like, "No, it's not. It's just our government officials." Like, "Oh, I think it's just our government officials." Like, "Well, let's overthrow the government." But if you're like, can't tweet at an alien, can't tweet at that guy. Problem
Yes, Jeffrey
solved.
said aliens are the unifying enemy for one world government.
Exactly.
That'll never happen. That will never unify. Like there's just
we think that, but
you got to do a real big tragedy to make it happen.
yeah. But even if you think about like between
You've never seen ID4
or Watchmen.
Yeah, no, I don't care. Is like it could be the biggest thing. It's between China. China wants to be the superpower. U.S. wants to be the superpower. Russia wants to be a superpower. It's like they will never align based on ideals. Not for at least 100 to like 500 years, if not longer.
You don't need alignment. You just need the strongest one. That's all. Like, dude, you think of the most information that anybody's ever been able to attain or connection, or it's like happening now, and it rises exponentially. You look at from when fire happened to when electricity happened to when engines happened to when nuclear happened to when microchips happened, and it gets shorter and shorter half-lives all the way up. So dude, that's why we see shit happen so fast right now. It hasn't even been that long that dude, how long has a car existed? How long has electricity existed?
When did you get your BMW?
2001, bro. Yeah. 2021.
All I'll
That's
say
what I meant.
is if aliens are real, like it scares me as far as leadership goes, because somebody's going to shoot at an alien and it's going to be on, and our technology is so shit compared to whatever has been in existence for, even longer than we have and has that half-life of technology. It's like, what are we doing?
BS Jeffrey said we've already got the government corp mafia running the show. One world government is just when they reveal themselves.
Hey, remember how young we are. You have to remember, dude, we can't get cocky either. America's just almost 300 years old, not even.
Right.
Like, dude, Rome fell, all the major nations fall.
Oh yeah,
And,
I mean,
that's where
we're close to falling. Look at the whole QAnon, like trying to overthrow the fucking government type shit. You know what I mean? Look at how many people can't get or refuse to get the vaccine because they think they're going to be microchipped. It's just magnetized and don't really have keys sticking to them, but they want to sit in front of a panel and be like, look at this shit is magnetized to me, and it just falls off their head because they're idiots. And it's just like that whole thing I was telling you guys last week, the whole ivermectin, where people are using an anti-fungus thing because they think that it's supposed to cure you of COVID. Like, people trust YouTube more than they trust their own doctors, which is insane to me.
But then, and it's insane to me too. But then I actually had to start diving into something because I started thinking real logical. Like, it's like this, and I'm rounding back to this idea here. But like when you're out on the street driving with all these other cars next to you, you just take it for granted in your head, like, oh, these people all know should be behind these wheels and driving these cars, like they're just another car that's out there. Or when you're seeing somebody like handle heavy machinery, you're just like, oh, they should be doing that. I learned when I started really Googling and seeking this information out, do you know that half of the American population is stupid?
Oh yeah, easily.
No, think about that. No, for real though, they have below average IQs. Half. Yeah. So that's what you pit yourself up against every day when you're on Twitter, when you're out in the world driving a car, when you're fucking at the McDonald's just trying to get a shake. You're dealing with people who are stupid in your life. So then you start looking at those people around you in a whole different way than when you're driving down the street, like, holy shit, odds are one of these three people are going to kill me right now. And somehow I get out of that situation.
Well, that's the problem, is that the half that you're saying are idiots. They think that they have what is it called? Dunning-Kruger, where they think that they're smarter than what they are. They overcompensate for their intelligence, and they're not intelligent at all. Dangerous. And you think most human beings, we sit here and we're like, no, I'm probably not as smart as I think I am, but you're a lot better than that other half. So I don't know, man. It's scary.
Do you guys believe in precognition?
Yes, I believe in precognition.
What is that?
That is so precognition.
He called it some weird name.
Precognition.
I was gonna say half the people on this podcast are
stupid. So precognition is when you see things before they actually happen. So if you dream about something before it happens, some people associate deja vu with it. I always say, I've had let's see, what did B.F. Jeffrey said? Fungi do have protein, maybe ivermectin affects the protein of the virus. The new vaccine attacks the protein. Maybe they don't want the competition for the virus or for virus control. But the interesting thing about this ivermectin, the actual company that creates it said, no, this doesn't work against COVID. So wouldn't they be the ones being like, no, our product works, to get more money? So they've actually come out publicly and said it doesn't work. So anyways, back to precognition.
Have you had any?
Yeah. Oh, dude. I told you guys the one about my mom when I was a kid. She had this dream that one of us got hit by a fire truck, right?
Fire truck?
Yeah. Shout out to Bobcat. So kind of like my Minority Report, and also like it's also kind of like premonition, right? But my mom had this dream that one of us got hit by a fire truck, and then all she saw was a fire truck going down the street and these little kids' shoes in the street, right? So one day we're walking to church. One day we're walking to church. I step on the back of my sister's shoe. I bend down to pick it up. I'm gonna PC Manny myself on this, but this Asian lady flies through the intersection. I try to jump out of the way.
Worthless podcast. We accept all people. We just want to say that no matter who you are and where you're from, we would embrace you,
or how you drive,
arms, or how you drive, and we want you to know that you are welcome here, as anybody, including myself, would be welcome here. Back to you.
Thank you, PC Sean. So I was laid out. I was laid out on the ground. I didn't jump far enough out of the way. This lady runs over my leg. It bends, but it doesn't break. And gross, right? So I'm like 9 years old. My sister's like 5.
Was it the third leg? Hello.
It was. God, thank God it's erect. So
Helping
anyways.
your sister, gross.
So anyways, the lady pulls over. This is right in front of church, and right across from church was a fire department. So they pull out. They put me in the back of the fire truck with a splint. They take me to the hospital, and then there was that image of what my mom saw, the fire truck going down the street, and then the little kid's shoes. The other one, I think
she got it wrong because she thought you got hit by the fire truck.
Well,
right?
no, but she didn't see any of that. She just saw the after effects, right? So, but fast forward, here's another one. I don't know what it is with my family and legs, but my aunt had this nightmare where she had lost her leg, and she runs in my mom's room crying. And it's like, oh my God, I had this dream. I like lost my leg. It was insane. And my mom was like, it's just a nightmare. Go back to sleep. So a few months later, she's dieting poorly.
And the table broke.
She was standing on the BART platform in California. She faints and falls onto the railroad track. They pulled her up last second, but her leg got severed. And so then she was laid up in the hospital. I mean, she got $1 million settlement for it. But I mean, it was literally that dream she had. So I mean, whether here's my thought process.
What the fuck?
Here's my thought process on the whole thing. I think that we as human beings, we visualize time in a linear format, but we're still existing. Like I think all time is happening at once. So you're being born right now, you're dying right now, and you're existing right now. And all of that is all in one. And sometimes our brains can just tap into different moments in time. But yeah, I've had precognition or premonitions, whatever it may be. So
what's yours? What ones have you had?
Oh man, so get this. I think I told you the lotto one.
Tell me again. I think you did, but I don't
Yeah, I don't know if this one will ever happen. But I was laying in bed, and I'm like laying in this weird.
By the way, I hope the story is that you lost at the lotto.
I don't know. So I'm laying at this window, and it's like bright blue. And there's like this black mass next to me, and all I say is something like, "Oh man, 9 after the 3-day weekend," and it felt like I just won a ton of money. I wake up and I'm like, "Where the fuck is this blue window?" And so a few months later, the apartment manager installed these floodlights outside of my window. All of a sudden, the window looks blue like that, right? And I'm like, "Oh shit." Then a few months later after that, Crystal gets this like blanket from her friend for a Christmas present. It's a black blanket. So all these little things are like slowly coming into play. All it is whatever 9 after the 3-day weekend means. So who knows? But yeah, we'll see.
What's this have to do with the lottery?
Well, I think that I might have said in the dream 9 million cash after the 3-day weekend and was like super amped up. So I don't know. We'll see. But I've also had little deja vus here and there where it's just like, oh shit, I've been here before. Like I could tell you everything that was going to happen play by play, and it just ends up happening.
My mom's side of the family's had some weird shit. Like my aunt, who I've met once, she went to bed one night and she woke up hearing her daughter saying, "Mom, Mom." So she gets up, wakes her husband up, goes into her daughter's room. She's not there. None of her kids are home. Goes back to bed. She wakes up again. She's like, wakes her husband up. "Do you hear that?" He's like, no. Goes in the bedroom. Nobody's there. 6 a.m. Cops knock on the door, answers the door. Cops tell him that her daughter and son were in a car that drove off a cliff and were in an accident. And when they got to the daughter, she was yelling for her mom.
Shit. I mean, yeah, my mom literally, when my sister got in an accident, heard her scream and like came running out, and she was like, "Oh my God," and then got a call from my sister just crying. Yeah, it's just weird stuff. There was one about this lady who had she had a dream. The last one I'll say, and then Sean you can cut in.
I have a question about that. But
yeah. So this lady wakes up and she has this dream that the chandelier falls on top of this baby crib and crushes it. And she looks at the clock and it was like 3 a.m. or something or 2 a.m. or something like that. So she wakes up and then she's like, "Oh fuck!" So she goes in and she grabs the baby, just because she doesn't want to risk it. And exactly at that time she saw on the clock, she hears a crash in the next room, and there was the chandelier that had crushed the baby crib. So yeah, Go ahead, Sean.
So I wonder, do people ever say like, "Hey, yo, I just had this crazy dream about a chandelier and blah, 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 and I think this is going to happen," and then it happens? Or is this a thing they say after the thing happens? Because I'm wondering, and I don't think they're bullshit, and I think they believe it. I think our brains just mix it up, and so all of a sudden you're like, dude, I thought that was gonna happen. I thought that was gonna happen. Because here's the thing that brains do. I was reading about this, man, and I think it ties into it. First off, Brent Van Wieringen, this fuck you. How about that premonition about that AMC stock, Sean? How dare you?
Oh God. I'll tell you something about stock also. But hold on, wait. What?
Here's my thing though, dude. So like when you're in your conscience, like so you're like, right now we're all in this podcast. Right. You're not in the moment of it, man. Your brain will actually fill in the gaps, and because your brain doesn't ever want to use useless or senseless information. So that's like why none of us see our noses right now.
Right.
Your eye can see it. It's your brain blocks it out though, because it's always there. So it's useless. So we're gonna toss it. Same thing like you run up on a stop sign. You don't go stop and it's red and there's an octagon. Fuck, that's a stop sign. I need to stop now. You're just recalling the thing you saw a long time ago when you were a kid when you first saw a stop sign. That's how your brain is always about efficiency. So I'm wondering in these premonition or precognition states, I wonder if a lot of that you're reflecting on that, like you're reflecting on that whatever. In like retrospect where you're like, fuck, dude, I knew that was going to happen because A, B, and C, but really you didn't. It's just your brain was filling in the gaps.
Right.
And
well,
Salvia Victoria.
So my only thing is in the case of, let's say, and I'm sure there's other ones, but in the case of my mom and my aunt, they both witnessed this at the same time, and then future events took place.
Got it.
And there you have it.
My mom had when my grandfather on my mom's side. So my mom, like he was an immigrant from Ireland, and like my mom and him had their issues or whatever. But I never met him. And one night, my mom just woke up, decided to go up, get into the attic, pull out all this shit about my grandfather, goes in the living room, spreads it all out. She's looking through it, and then about 3 or 4 hours later, at 7 a.m, she gets notified that he passed in Ireland that night. Which was fucking, weird. Just
yeah, man. I think that who knows? Ultimately, we all are energy, right? Atoms, whatever it may be. What does High Tyler think?
I once had a dream that came true. It was when I was 16. I drove a Ford Taurus, and I had a nightmare that my car got in an accident or was ruined, and my parents replaced it with a Ford Focus.
Oh.
And 2 months later, my car died, and my mom bought a Ford Focus. The only difference is that the Focus wasn't a hatchback, but it was in the dream. But it was the same bright red color. I'm just gonna say
the best fitting story so far. Nah, that doesn't sound real. No,
wasn't a hatchback, man.
Didn't involve anybody. It was a car.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I'm with Jamila, where it's like sometimes I'll just have these quick little glimpses in a dream, and I'm like, oh shit, and you remember it, and then it whatever, and then you have these future events. But like Sean said, there are times where I'm sure your brain can do these little glitches where you remember things backwards. But I can tell you there's been times, I remember this in drama, kind of like Tyler's thing. I went in and I had a dream about what we were going to do that day in class. I told my buddy Ed, and we ended up playing those games in exact, the same way that it happened. It may not have been broken out into a big circle, but we played each game in smaller groups, like we were, so.
Well, I think we might have talked about this before about a conspiracy thing, but there's my buddy Josh Pruitt, who now legally changes his name to Magic Fox, Majik Fox. He's a furry. Good for him. And we don't judge here, Tyler. How dare you? But
I'm not judging him for being a furry, but that's a sweet name, man.
Fortnite character. So he was saying that there's like a conspiracy theory or whatever, that everything we're doing right now, we've done over and over again. Everything happens and there's a certain point in time where everything resets and it starts all back over. Big Bang, dinosaurs, all that. And we've done this over and over and over again. And the government for the longest has been trying to, they know when this time happens or when it resets, and they're trying to push through that. And I don't know if it's it's supposed to be when the atom smasher thing happened, the collider, or what.
The Hadron Collider.
Yeah, but supposedly That's what deja vu is. You feel like you've done this before because you have, millions of times over.
But see, doesn't that get into like souls and that kind of shit? Like, because
Shit.
dude, we're just carbon. Like you can burn us. We're just carbon.
But I mean, think about this: energy can never be destroyed, right? And you think about what your electrons are, right? It's a bunch of charged, axons, and
I need to look into that better because I know people use that as an argument, but that's too blanket. I don't think I've heard that. You can't destroy energy, but I think that you can remove the energy from a thing, though. I'd want to be better. Like I'd better want to understand it. So there is no energy in a clump of carbon.
Well, I mean that's
burnt ash.
Well, technically, what if your energy is dissipating and leaving your body and going elsewhere to its source? Right, that could be your soul.
Right. And then you get into really, probably religious places, I guess. Actually, at that point, yeah, because that's just a weird thing.
Okay, second question to follow this one up. Do we believe that there is a multiverse?
A multiverse,
because
more than one,
more than one. Yeah.
Dude, think about how many BMWs you've got, Sean.
God, so many.
Well, I mean, there's all these different paradox like things in science and quantum physics where they do the equation, and I think it was like Schrodinger's cat, where it's like it's both alive and dead in the same thing. So it's like
Ricky Schroeder's.
I have no silver spoons, fucking bailing out the kid who like shot up everybody. Jesus,
I do these just for Sean's fucking hate.
We were talking so smart, and then Ricky.
But with Schrodinger's cat, and also what is it, the laser experiment, right? Where you shine the laser through these slits and it comes through as either wave functions or as particles, depending on what you're measuring it with. It's like it knows that you're trying to measure it.
I think this is the same thing you're talking about, where it's when it's being filmed, it reacts different. It's a weird thing.
It like knows that it's, and so instead of coming through,
I've seen some reactive slits before.
Definitely don't touch those. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Multiverse? We'll go around. We'll start with you, Tyler. Multiverse or no multiverse? 500 different versions of you. One that ended up not to one that ended up with an X, or one
it might be just because I'm like a little bit of a pessimist, but I kind of think that things are a little bit more boring than that. Okay. I think it's just we're just a singular entity that will eventually die out.
What about you, Jay?
Interesting. Well, I definitely believe there's life in the universe, other life in the universe or galaxy or whatever.
Right.
So multiverse, like if you had to say,
what was that thing that they did in Antarctica where they said that they felt like they had examined another universe on top of ours because of some sort of heat thing, some heat signature. I'll have to pull it up.
Holy shit. Is there a multiverse? Another one of me somewhere. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to say yes. Okay. I think there could be, there's all kinds of possibilities. Why not? Fuck it. Yes.
What about you, Sean?
No. Because we're just a series of synapses happen inside of gray matter and through your body. And then once that shit's done, then you just die and wilt away. I have a friend who went down a elevator shaft, 11 stories. Changed him forever. He has left, and it wasn't that his soul has left. It's just that because he's a gray mattered human being, and that got all jumbled. If there was a soul there, that would have taken that could not be broken. A soul is a soul, but why did his soul change when his gray matter got messed up, and now he can't, walk, talk, eat, see, any of that? It's like it's because he's a series of synapses.
Well, could let me play devil's advocate. Could your brain be rewired, but yet, you're still whole, as in, your soul is still here, but your brain just doesn't work.
Yeah, man. Just because the computer's broken doesn't mean the website's still not available. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Shit. Actually, that's a huge thought.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
I'll just read this quick snippet real quick. This past May, a balloon flying over Antarctica sparked a worldwide interest in parallel universes. It looks like a few years ago, the balloon-based experiment for ANITA, which stands for Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna, detected a couple of subatomic particles behaving in unexpected ways. So anyways.
Well, I'd say as soon as they come up with a test that's called like, the Tom or I don't know, some male name, I might trust it a little more. But until then, we'll see.
Well, anyways, I'm with Jay. I'm going to say that, I think that there are multiple universes where I didn't choose to do comedy, or two where I decided to go with Jay to LA, and maybe we're bigger than life out there. So I don't know.
Fuck.
I'm here right now.
And, what if there is a Sean out there that really is
he likes
the Rob
Mercedes-Benz?
There's one that stayed with Porgan. Porgan Moreston.
Who's Megan Rapinoe?
She's a soccer player for Team USA.
Yeah, that's me too.
Okay, go ahead. What is Megan Rapinoe is wrong and is either blind or self-involved? What is that?
It's been fun. It's been interesting to watch this women's soccer thing play out over time. And they're suing for to get. Hold
on. Natasha just broke it down. In one multiverse, Jay is a short, poorly endowed black man with poor fashion choices. Manny literally owns Wall Street, and Sean is still this Sean. And Tyler is a drug and alcohol counselor.
I love it.
Okay, sorry, Sean. Go ahead.
So those who don't know her, she's Megan Rapinoe. She's on she scored the second goal during the Women's World Cup. And she's got some fame, and really, I don't know what now overshadows what, if it's that she's more famous for being a soccer player or for, spreading all these funny self-absorbed lies around. So the crux of it is that she says that the women's team doesn't get paid as much as the men's team, and even went in front of Congress and spoke in front of Congress and to President Biden that she's a victim of pay discrimination. And then she has a new documentary coming out called LFG, where she's going to go into this also. So the only thing is like,
was that that's what you said, LFG?
LFG, yeah.
Was that Jay? Was that Levert, Gill, and never mind.
LFG.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. That's what Tom Brady always says. LFG.
So
that's LSG. Levert, Sweat, and Gill. Never mind.
Rapinoe and her teammates sued the USSF in federal court in California, and they wanted $66 million in damages for alleged wage discrimination and discriminatory working conditions. The court found that there was sufficient evidence to allow the players to proceed with their claims of unequal travel and hotel accommodations, medical support, training, and other support services, but it dismissed the claim about not getting paid the same. So
dismissed?
Yeah, they dismissed that part.
Oh, okay.
The players' claim of pay discrimination find that the women's team earned more than the men's team on both a cumulative and per game basis, actually. So just to give you this, so women's national team earned $24 million overall, while the men's national team earned $18 million. The average take per game was $220,000 for the women's team compared to the men's team, which was $212,000.
So the men got paid less.
Yeah. Overall, and each individual man got paid less on average. And
wait, can you click on Jamila's comment down there? Because I think that's very true. But go ahead, continue, Sean.
And while the individual female plaintiffs made an average of $11,000 to $17,000 a game, now let me do that again. The individual female plaintiffs made an average of $11,000 to $17,000 per game. The four highest paid male players made an average of $10,000 to $13,000. So here's what's going on is that they're bothered because Rapinoe, she says that even though they receive more money than their male counterparts, they were nevertheless victims of discrimination because they would have earned even more money had they been paid under the men's pay structure, which offers higher bonuses. That is true. Here's the thing. Men don't get paid unless you play. If you sit, you don't get paid. Every woman on the team gets paid regardless. Both of them have collective bargaining agreements. They were presented with the same one that the men had, the women were, and said, here's what we'll offer you. And they said, no, we don't want that. We all want to make sure we get paid. Okay, so here's what it is with the bonus structure. So what they want is the men don't get paid unless you play, and they have higher bonuses, which brings it up. If you play, you still make less than the women do, but the bonuses are higher. So what they want to do is they want to take the bonus along with getting paid for every game. They want
to eat it too.
Oh yeah, they want their cake and they have to sleep in it too. So, so this is where these get really tough, because this is an example of people wanting to twist things into a certain way just to get what they want. But when you find her out, and I don't know why more people aren't clamoring on this, but because she's really getting like heavy media coverage. She's with, like I said, in front of Congress. Now she's got this LFG thing, and it's all based off of bullshit. And she knows it. They know it. There's dudes that don't make any money playing soccer.
Tyler, what are your thoughts on this? You look very...
I'm like, man, I'm gonna get in so much trouble, so I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
No, we got these, Manny. Let it go.
Yeah. You're good. Well, okay, I'll start with this. I do agree that I mean,
I'm gonna get in trouble because I think these women deserve way more money.
There you go.
As much as I would love to say, I think that WNBA players should be paid as much as NBA players.
Hell no.
Well, no. Hear me out. I wish that they could be, but like Jamila said earlier, entertainment works so differently because it's based off of ticket sales, right?
Yeah.
It's based off of endorsements. Who's going to sell more shoes? Who's going to sell more McDonald's? Whatever it is. Who's going to come buy more?
By the way, when I was like, hell no, it's not. It's not that I don't want them to get paid. I pay what the market dictates. You know
exactly.
But women don't even go watch the WNBA. So
right.
I'm like,
and here's the thing. As much as I feel like, I should be paid as much as Jay does to headline, I don't command the same audience. I don't command the same numbers. Jay has a bigger following. You know what I mean? I know that sounds stupid, but it's like I'm not on, Instagram every day. I don't have the YouTube numbers. So for me to go into a comedy club and be like, oh, well, you just paid Jay, let's say
use Kev on stage. Don't use me.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, for me to say like, oh, hey, Kev on stage is making 10,000 a weekend.
We're both comics.
Yeah. We're both comics. I should get that, and I don't come anywhere near what his numbers are. So I can't command that, people aren't buying tickets at the same rate. They're not going to pay $30 to $50 a head to go see me, somebody who's only been on TV twice,
And Manny can't dunk.
And I can't dunk. So, I mean, Sean looks like you're about to, what do you got, Sean?
No.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. With the whole Megan Rapinoe thing, I mean, yeah, you're making more money. You're actually the better team. The men's team doesn't have the championships you do. They're not as talented. I actually prefer women's soccer over men's soccer. I'm not,
and championships don't matter, right?
They don't
when it comes to money, because there's Pasadena High School has a championship, and I don't think they should get paid as much as like the Giants. They have a championship. It's like it's relative, dude. This goes across to all areas, though, all industries, that you get paid your value. That's what it is, and you can negotiate what your value is, but that's what you get paid. And the thing that really kills me is that it's the men's deal actually really sucks, and the women really got a great deal here. And I think it's unfortunate. I think what this is for is to stir up and divide us more. That's what a lot of these things are around. Because, dude, she doesn't believe this. She can't believe that this is what she's saying is true. She knows the deal because she was approached with the men's deal and they said no to it. So she knows what that deal was,
right?
And she knows what her deal is, to the point that she's going to court over it. It's fucking amazing. And the court tells her to go fuck herself.
Yeah. Ultimately, if we're talking, day-to-day work, I think that, a woman should be paid equally if she's doing the same position as me. If she has a degree, she should be paid more, whatever. But if we're talking about entertainment, we're talking about sports. I'm sorry, Dave Chappelle is always going to command way more than an Amy Schumer, or, and just like Amy Schumer will always command more than me. It's based on the individual. It's not necessarily on the sex. So
people are getting paid it is equal. I get tired of hearing that. That's never what it's been about, that a woman gets paid 120 for what a dude gets paid 140 for. That's how they try to angle it, like people who don't know what they're talking about. But what it's really about is they're averaging everything women make and everything men make and come up with these averages, and they don't put any kind of they don't include any of the variables in there, like time off from work, having a kid, all these things. Men generally always go to work. Women, when they want families and things like that, they have to take time off. That is how it is. So yeah, those hourly employees aren't getting paid during that time, or they work, say they want to stay home with the kid more. So now they work 20 hours a week. So it's not about that somebody is getting paid more for the same job. It's not about that. It's just about that they're saying overall men are making more money than women are. And that is true. That's true. But that's always going to be true. That's just adding up all the money and seeing, well, yeah, they worked every day and they worked half days.
Yeah.
Now that's not every woman, right? Because many women.
I know.
This goes the other way, by the way, too. So now men who stay at home with the kids, the wives are making more money, right? So we're probably going to now, there's more women graduating from college, like by so much over men. And we already see it that is all shifting, where it's going to become that the women are the breadwinners, man.
Emeretta said there's something I'm aware of that I haven't heard people talk about where I live in Missouri. I'm wondering if any of you have heard of it. Does anybody know what is it, Emeretta?
Racism?
There's something I'm aware of that I haven't heard people talk about. Well, I don't get it.
I was paid less than a male teacher. Jamila said she was paid less than a male teacher.
I have a million questions about that. Oh, and you were his senior. Yeah, I have a million.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what the job is. But also, yeah, I mean, it's there's so many factors. But I'll tell you this: I knew a woman who made $300,000, and her husband, it was in a similar industry, didn't make nearly as much. And so, but I mean, she also was like almost a CFO or CEO of a company, and so.
Look, even my buddy's in this right now. Well, he was Brent that you guys saw in here. He smokes me. We did the same job. So am I being discriminated against for some reason there?
It's probably because he's like white, and you've got a black friend.
He actually is. He's what do you call it? Swedes and stuff. What do you call them? Nords. He's a Nord.
Yeah,
or a Nordic.
I was really lowly paid on the bank scale, and there were women who were making a ton more than me when I came in as a teller. And it's all about, I think, sometimes negotiating pay. I don't know how to negotiate. I'm not good at that. I should have been like, I wanted to make X amount.
I know when I was a operations manager at Yahoo, so when we would hire a tech support rep, it would be like, okay, this position starts at 40 grand a year. Let's say starts at 40 grand a year. We didn't have, if you're a woman though, it's 35 grand, or if you're a minority, it's this. This is the job. It's 40 grand a year. If you want it, cool. If you don't, there was no
right.
And then like what Sean was saying, now if you take time off, paid or unpaid leave, then obviously that's going to go down,
and also, I mean, it's state by state, it varies too. It's like we could be doing the same position, but if you're in another state, your pay scale is going to be significantly less. So,
and Ann brings up a really good point. That is something that you gotta do. You gotta be good at that.
She said, or Ann said, from an HR standpoint, males are more likely to negotiate pay than women are. Closed mouths don't get fed.
I was going to say, that's what I've heard from a lot of people in the professional setting. Interesting. But can I tell you guys, so during the whole quarantine, I was like interviewing for jobs, trying to make money so I can keep eating and stuff,
Hell yeah.
And one of the places I interviewed for, a chain of dispensaries here in Seattle, I was interviewing for like an assistant manager job, and they in the interview they were like, so we're female owned and operated, and all the manager positions are female. Like, would you have any problems? Or like just kind of like casually brought it up, and it was almost like they mention it to be like, hey, there is a glass ceiling here for our male employees, and you will never get to this certain point. And I was just like, wait, why am I interviewing if you're telling me that you only hire female?
It's funny that you say that because it goes back to our earlier question about the whole discrimination thing, right? Where it's like anti-discriminatory, you know, we feel by putting, you know, those women in those power positions, but then ultimately it becomes discriminatory towards you that you can't move up because you were born with a dick. So
I had to quit my job at the University of Washington.
Oh, this is wild. Have you told this story on here?
I don't know if I have actually.
Tell this, Sean.
Why is Natasha angry?
I mean,
wait, let's see. I love negotiating job offers. Know your value. I agree.
Yeah, she's right. I agree with you. No, we're on the same page, Natasha. Hey, so yeah, I worked.
And Victoria got a raise for crying at the parlay, by the way. $2 raise.
That sounds right. If Ruben had anything to do with it.
Yeah, and Sean couldn't even get a job when he was a friend with somebody.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
fucking.
That's a story for another time. Let's be honest. When men negotiate, it's a man trying to get what he's worth. When women do so, it's seen as them being difficult to work with. Not true. So I was on. I was working. Wait, what story was I telling again?
At UW.
University of Washington.
I was at the University of Washington, and
did Steven think Victoria was pregnant? Is that why she got there?
Oh God.
Fuck, dude.
We just want to say here on the Hollingsworthless program that it is never okay to judge anybody by their physical stature, and even if you think something, it's not okay to say something. So, anyways,
all right, tell your story. UW.
Yeah, and Carla, it's not. So I was at the UW, and I started there as a designer, became a senior designer, then became a design lead, and took on all these responsibilities. And so the agreement was, okay, so we're going to give you your promotion, and then your raise. We're just waiting for our okay, to get approval on it, and you'll get that. We started seeing like months go by to the point where I had to meet with my boss, and like constantly, every time we had a sync up, I'd have to meet with her constantly. Like, hey, what's up with that money? Oh, and she'd always have a different excuse. Again, remember, this is the University of Washington, like, and not some satellite campus. This is the main campus. And so she kept putting me off. Well, then finally one day I started working home from Fridays, and she could see I was getting really irritated. So she was giving me a lot of leeway. And dude, not for nothing, but like, I was the one down there, man. I made all the shit happen. Like I was of value there. Let me put it that way. And so then I'm on Slack equivalent, whatever it was. And she sends me this thing. I said, hey, so what's up? I need to figure out what's going on here. She says, Sean, I'm going to be honest. By the way, she's typing this out to be forever memorialized.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I'm going to be honest with you. We can't give you a raise because if a person of color or if a female or a minority found out and they had more front-facing work than you, we would get sued. And I said, are you for sure? Can you favorite Jamila Bailey's real quick from 444? And so I sent a thing back and I said, dude, are you for real? And she says, I'm just being honest. I said, dude, I can't believe you said that. I'm not some white dude that's sitting over there in the corner making all this shit happen. I'm Sean McCann. So you got to get that out of your head, man. And you promised me, which I shouldn't have believed. First off, that was my bad that it wasn't in writing. But she said, so I took that all the way up. Where I messed up is I probably could have got paid on that. Mm-hmm. But I went all the way up, and they ended up doing, and I'm not going to get into this part, but they ended up doing things that they felt were making it right. But that's something that's always stuck in my head. Mm-hmm. And it's something I take with me now that I actually run a whole design team from a much different role, is that we don't tokenize anybody. I don't give a shit who you are. We are all designers. We're not female designers and male designers. We aren't Asian designers and
little people designers.
Irish designers. Yeah, little people. No, we're all designers, because nothing you did was because of any of those attributes. It's because you're an amazing designer. Now, I would say, Sean, you would have absolutely no idea. So I can tell you, And I don't know. I don't know about. I was told I was being too emotional. So there's a few things here.
Well, here, let me read this so people know what you're about to come on. So Jamila said, Sean, you would have absolutely no idea. I've been in meetings where I talked about students not having access to electricity, and I was told I was being too emotional. My friend, who is a dude, said the exact verbatim thing I said 2 minutes later, and the principal said, wow, that's a good point, Tim.
Yeah,
that's on that principal.
I can see that happening. I don't know how you presented that. Were you heard? Is my first question. Was it a premise that multiple people may have had in that room, and theirs got heard on top of yours, on top of two other people? They just didn't hear you. I mean, I don't know. I know how conversations go in those types of meetings when things are high energy. I don't know. What I do know though is we always can't come from a place like, oh, this happened because of some fucked up reason. You have to come from a place like, why did this happen really? But I would say that, I hire people. I interview them. I hire them. I know what they're going to get paid, and we don't have a male and female price tag. We don't have those out the outset. I know.
Let me ask you this, Sean. With somebody that you've hired, so let's say it's a female designer, whatever ethnicity, I don't care.
They all are, but yeah.
Okay, so your whole team's female?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
My boss is female. My boss's boss is female. My boss's boss is female. And that's how it's always been. But go ahead.
Now, any of these female designers that you hired, did they? You present them like, this is the job, this is what it pays. Did any of them try and negotiate anything?
Yeah.
And how did you respond to that?
The negotiation happened, and they got there was a compromise between was and what was you know what's funny is you don't judge it at all. I see what you're doing. You actually don't think to yourself anything. Like, think about it. Real talk, real world, real talk. When we're discussing salary, and then they go, I want $140,000, and the offer was $130,000. Let's say I'm just making numbers up, and it was $130,000. I honestly don't go in my head like, whoa, now look at that. She wants to negotiate. Wait, she wants to negotiate. A woman, oh, this is trouble. And meanwhile, she's like, why are you just lipping words and not saying anything right now? And I'm like, sorry. And then I get back, dude, it's horse shit. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying that it is not the majority, right? That's not like the running thing. I know everything happens in this world, and I was it's like even when it happened to me that now all of a sudden I judge everything by skin color when it comes to giving promotions, because I went through it. And I'm not saying everybody is like that. It happened to me, but I'm not going to just blanketly say, nah, you don't know, Natasha or whoever said it, Jamila, because all bosses are discriminatory towards white men. I'd never say that.
I think you just commented on what Jamila just said. She was saying just because you're not a dick doesn't mean other people aren't dicks, which you just said. You understand that it happens, but
yeah, and that's what Jamila's doing too. Like, she's taking her example and saying that's just that women get said they're made to be difficult, and it's just your experience, and now you're applying it to everything just like I did.
And then Natasha said, profitability matters to the organization, not your happiness. Stakeholders don't make investment choices off of happiness.
That's right. I tell my people too, I'm not here to make you happy. Like, I can't control that. What I can do is create an environment of success, and the byproduct is you're happy. But I have no control over your happiness.
And Jamila, speaking about being emotional, can we go back to Victoria said she cried to get a fucking raise? What would happen if a guy did that? If I went in and I was like,
yeah,
I'd give you whatever to get you out of my office.
Yeah,
and then I'd label you as a difficult person to work with.
All right.
Yeah,
I went.
all right.
This is kind of along the lines with the sports shit. How are you doing, Tyler? On time? You okay?
Yeah. Were you joking about this going for 4 hours?
No,
it's supposed to be going for 3. But dude, I need to use the restroom.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool
Okay, hold on.
All
Before
right,
you
can I
do,
grab
this will
a
give you something
water,
to think about. I want to talk about Sha'Carri Richardson,
Okay.
the Olympic
runner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll wait for last, but I got a ton on that. I'll talk last though.
Okay.
All right.
Me and Jay will talk for a minute while you two go do your thing. It's so funny. That doesn't look like a bong at all. It just looks like a crack pipe.
What are you
Natasha
guys
loves
talking
your,
about?
Natasha loves your energy, Tyler.
Oh god.
Thank you.
So good. Yeah, Jay, your thoughts.
Dude, it's my first response.
Well, actually,
This is about the pothead, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, yeah.
The Olympian record setter.
Let me for anybody in the comments who doesn't know exactly what happened. Sha'Carri Richards, amazing athlete. I think she was
world record.
Just set a world record in the 100 for the women. She tested positive for marijuana, and now she is unable, from what it sounds like, to run the 100 in the Olympics. Even after breaking that time, she was dealing with something. Her biological mother had just passed away. She had from what she said, a lapse in judgment, smoked that day to deal with what she was dealing with, and tested positive. She hasn't, I guess, contested the the marijuana.
Her excuse could be like, yo, I was, just sitting here experiencing the human existence, and I decided to smoke some fucking weed. It's her fucking body, bro. Like, it's not making her faster. If anything, it's slowing her down.
Yeah.
So this is for Kid Sister. Kid Sister said, is weed on the no drugs list? And if so, if you lived in a state where it's legal, should you be penalized for using it? Here's the thing: is it's not something that the U.S. is putting on her or her state. It's the Olympic rules that all the countries and everybody that's
and
being
she is
represented
from a state where marijuana is legal.
Yeah, and I believe was it Portland or no? Where was she?
I don't even know.
Anyways, she was in a place where it was legal, and she smoked it there, which is kind of crazy to me because here's the thing: Russia was caught.
Shit. And said. Last I read, she's been suspended for a month, but will be ready for the Olympics. Okay, that's great then.
So she can apparently she can compete in the 4x4, the relay race. So that'll be good. But maybe they were checking on her. She knew what she did, but this shouldn't even be an issue. Weed doesn't give her an advantage. You know what the interesting thing is? The last Olympics, Russia was caught doping. Yeah. Everybody was caught, and the whole program, the whole country was caught, steroids and all, and they weren't even supposed to be able to compete in this year's Olympics, but I'm sure somebody was paid off. The Olympic Committee were like, oh, you're fine, because here's the thing: they were going to have to compete under without a banner, as just regular athletes without a country. But now Russia's back in it, so it's like, if you're going to make it okay for Russia to run after clearly being caught doping, I think there should be forgiveness for this weed thing, and just test her before, make sure she's clean before she runs, and then test her after she runs.
I see a lot of people comparing her to that New Zealand trans woman bodybuilder, because that person is on testosterone, which arguably is like that is a steroid.
Yeah.
But allowed to compete. But this is like a drug that doesn't affect. That is legal. Are you fucking insane? What the fuck?
Okay, so a couple things. I'm reading. This is from 34 minutes ago. So because she tested positive for a chemical found in marijuana during the Olympic trials, her result was erased, and she is not permitted to run the 100 in Tokyo later this month. Richardson has accepted a 30-day suspension, which ends July 27th. This would be in time to run in the women's relay, according to the AP. So she was suspended, but so she can't run in the 100, which is her thing that she set the record for, but she can run in the relay. So she is going to be able to participate in the Olympics.
Oh, how convenient. The thing that she crushes at, she can't compete in. How convenient. Who's paying these Olympian board members off? Because there's somebody, whoever's competing in that 100 race that has a lot of money in it, they're like, bro, get her out of there. Get her out of there. I don't care what you do. Fucking slip some weed in her fucking piss.
Victoria with the most who gives a fuck point. Gabriel Union even tweeted saying, let the girl run. Okay, fucking let's stop everything. Gabby Union tweeted, who gives a fuck?
I think we've got Ja Rule.
Yes. My whole thing on this is, I mean, she has said that she knew it was against the rules to smoke weed. She did it because and she was dealing with something, fair enough, and everything. I'm not saying like a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's not a performance enhancing drug, and that shouldn't even matter, blah blah blah. But it's in the fucking rules, of all the Olympics, of all the countries are supposed to following it. So, it's not that the U.S. is doing it; it's the Olympic Committee.
But back to the Olympic Committee, they're full of shit. It's like it's supposed to be illegal to dope and use steroids. There was supposed to be a ban on Russia, but yet you've let Russia back in this year. So if it's got to be consistent across the board, if you're going to be like that,
Don't we think this is a little discriminatory towards Americans, as we do have the best weed in the world?
Yeah,
it's like, why don't we throw vodka on that list of things that they get banned for? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Nobody else got weed, and that's why they're making these rules.
Wait, go back to what N said. I'm pro weed, but if you test positive for it during a pre-employment screening, you better believe HR is rescinding your offer. I don't see what everyone is upset about. Yeah, I agree. It's like if you can't, if there's a set of rules, that there are rules. I mean, it's just like the NFL, right? It's like, fuck, if you know that you can't smoke weed during the season and you're Josh Gordon, you can't expect them. You can't expect them just to bend the rules every time, you're caught.
Can I add? I am like, everybody knows I'm a huge advocate for fucking marijuana. As someone who's been arrested for selling it, huge advocate for it. I think that even though I'm totally cool with her smoking weed, and I think that they should lift this ban, her being punished for testing positive, like, yeah, dude, you're an athlete and this is going to happen. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, you cost this loss to yourself.
For Victoria, who said, what about when Michael Phelps smoked weed? Michael Phelps was stripped of his financial support, and
for showing up.
He was banned. He was banned from competing for 3 months, not a month like Sha'Carri. He was banned for competing for 3 months and lost his Kellogg sponsorship deal. So, I mean,
right?
Are you saying she should? Are you saying, Victoria, she should get 2 more months of that suspension?
Yeah, fuck Tony the Tiger.
I think the suspension goes for however many months, is like it correlates with how many areas you were going to win your gold medal in, possibly, and how many judges just got paid off for getting you banned or whatever. You know what I mean? If she was going to win gold in more races, she probably would have been banned from all of them too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sean?
I'm just talking on my ass.
No, I agree with you guys completely, because I'm a huge advocate for weed too. Like, do I think the rule is ridiculous? Absolutely. But I just said it in that sentence, though, the rule. And what I loved about this whole thing, because I was waiting for it, and Seth Rogen, who cares? He, like Gabrielle Union, like who cares? We know these people posture all the time, so it's just expected. But like he says, this is racism is embedded in it. You're right. Marijuana, the word we all, I think a lot of us know where that came from. It used to be cannabis. The word change, absolutely. But I love how the Olympian kept it. She's like, look, I knew the rule. This is how it was. And she never deviated from that. She never brought race into it. She never brought her gender into it. It is what it is. Also, I just want to say that the Russia is not, they aren't back in. It's the ROC is in. So it's the Russian, what do they call it? The Russian Olympic Committee. And it's just a few people who are Russian that they were like, look, we're going to let you guys get in, even though your country fucked up. Now you guys can't host. Now you can't have your flag. Now you can't say you're part of Russia. We'll let a small group of you guys come. And I've seen that happen before. So it's different than what happened with her, but I don't think there is a conspiracy against these folks because they're black. I just don't think there's a conspiracy. I also believe the same thing with the swimming cap. I know that all of a sudden a cap became a very polarizing, racially charged thing, but you choose, to be in that sport, and that sport requires you to be streamlined. Therefore, there's certain things you're supposed to do. This happens in men's wrestling. This happens, it used to happen in football. You couldn't have long hair. This happened at the major leagues. This happens all the way down in high school and junior high. So, but I get why people go that way, because we have now been put in a position where everything has to do with somebody's skin color, or has to do with their gender, or has to do with some sort of victimization. And people can choose to live that way or not.
It reminds me of the Yankees under Steinbrenner. I think had that was his name, right? George Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
For the longest, they had a rule you couldn't have long hair, and so when what the fuck is his name that went from the Red Sox, and he was known for his long hair, and he went to the Yankees, and everybody's like, "What's he going to do?" Had to cut his fucking hair. I think it might have also been you couldn't have facial hair for a while or a beard or something. I don't know, but I know there was something about like your haircut. Fucking what is his name? God damn it, it's driving me nuts. But yeah, he had to cut his hair. It was a white dude. It wasn't a black dude. But got it. Now it's going to drive.
You're
me
not
nuts.
talking about not from the. He wasn't on the fucking Mariners. The guy who went to Arizona.
No, he was on the Red Sox, and then he went to the Yankees, and everybody was like, "What's going to happen with his hair?" And that's the rule on the Yankees. Yeah. You got to get your fucking hair cut. So he had to cut his hair. I'm going to Google it as you guys continue.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the swimming cap thing. I don't know if that was like where Jamila says the swimming cap doesn't go against any guidelines. They banned it, even though it was acceptable during the trials. I haven't read up on it. I wouldn't know, so I'm not going to speak on it. But I don't, my personal opinion, I don't think it should be banned. I mean,
what's the meeting look like? What's that meeting look like when they're discussing that cap? Think about it, honestly.
I mean, is it giving you an aerodynamic advantage? I don't know.
So do you think what they might be? Yeah, exactly. So do you think what they're saying is, look, this thing has, it's kind of like, there was a huge argument with Oscar Petraeus about whether he has more.
Yeah, he has more give with his springs, right? It's like, yeah.
Now he's a white dude, so it never went to race never got involved in that. That was really left at the equipment level where it should have been left at the equipment level. I go with that same story here that it's yeah, right.
Johnny Damon.
Yeah,
and as you see, it says Johnny Damon in New York with shave, haircut, and more than 2 bits, and that's him all clean shaven and short haired because you play for the Yankees. That's the rule.
They saying they had to shave his balls too.
It's interesting. That's where your mind went.
No, but I'm just saying, do you think they got into a room and talked and they're like, hey, so that the black folks are going to get advantaged by that? And they're like, whoa, for real? Yeah, dude. No, we can't do that because we've been having a problem with them lately. Do you think that's honestly, how's that conversation go? Or is it more at the equipment level? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm Googling it. I saw something about it. I'm
gonna step out to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna stop my cam because I am bottomless. You guys.
Wait, what?
I'm bottomless.
So
and the door is right there. So I'm gonna. I'm gonna shut my can off. I don't.
Okay. Hey, dude, it's good if your cam's off when you do it, just so we're all sure.
Oh yeah, I'm moving it too, just in case.
There, good. We're good.
Hilarious.
I'm reading this. Okay, I'm trying.
Oh yeah, weren't we supposed to be sponsored by some sort of manscaping product or some shit?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Shaved my balls or something like that, or yeah. I'm trying to see if if they give a reason why.
It looks like this podcast where they have a majority of white men and 1 black man and 1 woman.
Oh, calling Tyler the woman.
Yeah.
Hey Jay, I think it's about that time.
What for?
Are we 2 hours in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens in 2 hours?
Oh,
never mind.
I'll be right back.
He has to take a shit. Anyways, so where do we leave off? We left off on I'm with you, Sean. I don't think that I don't think that that meeting went like that, right? It's like,
no,
of course it didn't. I think that ultimately, they're looking at what advantages are people getting through certain things, right? It's
absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
The
logo part, that's a decent. And also, I'm not looking for anything outside. Like, dude, if we found out they had a conversation like that, that needs to, obviously, dude, nobody's going to disagree. That needs to be dealt with.
Right.
I just, I think we've all grown so much, but are there any logos on the cap? Also, another question, but I have a feeling everything has to do with it. Let's just be real about this, especially in swimming, running, any of these race type things where it's people against people, as opposed to shot put maybe or whatever. Right. Is that these things come down to hundredths of a second, and everything needs to be standardized, just like in IndyCar racing, where Jesus, now his hair's down. That was a hell of a shit. But everything's down to 100th of a second, so you have to make sure everything's standardized. In Indy racing, they standardize RPMs and the amount of stuff you can do to engines, and so
I'm still very surprised with swimming that they allow, I guess, men to go from Speedos to like the full body suits, because I'm sure that the bodysuit helps you cut through the water in some way, shape, and form. I mean, I know women have to wear the full body suits in order to swim, but it's like you're definitely getting an advantage by cutting through the water with a smoother, body.
And they've made rules. Yeah, they've had to, some people went
like they're
overboard
tucking it back.
Exactly. You don't want that dick to.
They don't want that dick drag.
Oh God! All right, here we go. Jay has started.
Yeah, we smoking. All right.
No. Irritated. I'll be right back. I'm not going to, but I'm just gonna go pee because it has been 2 hours.
Sean,
I'll be back.
Jamila's got you, Sean, or got issue with you.
Sean, cut it out. Meetings don't go that way. The issue is that when things are specifically tied to certain communities, it is seen as lesser or unprofessional. I think that does happen. So I don't think it's a blatant statement. They didn't have to have a meeting to say that black hair was unprofessional. They just had to decide what was professional, and shocker, it wasn't black hair. Discrimination doesn't work like that. You just set the parameters, and whatever is outside of it doesn't count. Historically, those things have been non-white, non-male, non-Christian, non-straight. So,
should we wait till PC Manny comes back?
Nah, we won't need him.
Yeah, we don't need a safety net.
No, yeah. I mean, I understand. Look, I think there was a moment for me that I had that was really eye-opening, and I don't know if I've told the story here before, but I knew this dude, and he was the Spanish guy from Spain. He was from Spain. His dad was Spanish. His mom was Mexican. And we were having this conversation once about living life, just what it was like. And so he brings up this thing. He's like, Sean, see, there's a thing you don't realize though, man. This is what's like totally different between me and you. When I get pulled over by a cop, it's 10 and 2 on the steering wheel. It's yes, sir, no, sir. I don't make any sudden movements. I can't reach for like my seatbelt or reach over the glove box. If I make a move, I got to tell him. And I was like, bro, same here.
Yeah.
Same here. And then we got into a whole thing about that. I think there tends to be this idea that there are massive differences between how we're treated in this world. And I don't know that that is blanketly true. I start to ask, and I've asked this before, and I'm not going to ask it of this group here, but I've gotten into these debates before where somebody starts going down this line. It doesn't have to be racial based. It's just down like they have some opinion. And then I ask them about their experience with that opinion that they just gave. Like, what did you really experience there? 8 times out of 10, dude, they haven't experienced anything that backs up what they're talking about. And so then I start to question, well, like, then where does your standpoint come from? Just from like analogies and shit you hear out this, anecdotal evidence? Like,
can I do a PC Manny real quick?
Sure.
I just want to say here on the Hollingsworthless podcast, we do not promote showing any dog dick on on underage animals. Back to you guys.
You still got those balls on him, bro.
God damn, those balls are huge.
I'm just so disappointed.
I know Sean was talking about something deep, but are you gonna get those balls removed or what?
Yeah. You're not frozen, Sean. Fuck you.
He wants to speak on Carla's point.
Yeah. So Carlos says, I love you, Sean, but you are a white male. You don't have the same experience as black people. Generally, a statement made when somebody wants to stop a conversation. That's one I can't get past. So
wait. I can say one thing.
Yeah.
So Carlos, so you're saying he wouldn't know like the black experience, which I get. But then also you would know Sean's experience. So
look now, right. That's a perfect point. And
I'm high, so don't fucking anything.
No, it's real. But as soon as somebody says that, like, well, dude, but look, like I hear, put it this way, and be honest with yourself. I have to hear so often about me from other people, about me being what the problem I am, or the cis white, male. Bullshit, male, straight stuff. Like I often have to hear about male toxicity or masculine toxicity.
Yeah, male toxicity.
Yeah, none of you are men, yet I have to hear it all the time. I'm
a man.
So
yeah, that's questionable.
So here's what I'm saying is that you can't preclude somebody of having opinion based off of that you feel don't have your experience. A person can have an opinion. Opinions can be wrong or right, or they could be up in the air. I think it's a good conversation to have. But when we start getting into a thing like, well, dude, you don't get it because you're not black. Okay, I can't go past that. You're right. So I guess that's that.
Can I just say something real quick? Tyler looks like a 1990 WWF wrestler right now. That shit is amazing to me. You look like
is somebody writing this? Or are you just roasting me?
No. All I want you to do for Halloween is wear like a fanny pack and just like
oh man. I bleached my
Hey Tyler.
Wait, you bleached your hair?
I bleached my hair a while back and I look like a wrestler who filmed porn.
Hey, Tyler.
Yeah.
You know who you look like?
Who's that? Oh, you son of a bitch.
You have to tell that story because I'm still high. I don't know if this is the right time, but it's one of my favorite being high stories.
That's so fucking mean. I'm not telling that story.
All right. I will.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Corey Franklin, he does look like Bret the Hitman Hart. That's
now.
Amazing.
Bret Hart now.
Now. The excellence of execution.
No, okay. Or should we wait? Sean, do you want to finish this?
Well, I did, and Jamila, in all caps, you just spent this whole time discounting experiences that you didn't have to deal with. I'm sad that you took it as discounting them. I was just bringing conversation and a sense of reality to the situation. That's all. If you took it as discounting, I can't do anything about that. That's true, Carlos says. I'm just saying that he can't say things don't happen because he hasn't experienced things. Doesn't mean they don't happen to other people. I think you'd be surprised by what I experienced. I mean, now male toxicity is a conversation starter. That's a purpose-built, negatively biased lens at which that person is coming at the convo. Nice. Well said. Because then all of a sudden there's like female toxicity and, that gets.
Can I tell you the funniest shit that a white person never told me? Like, we were having this like back and forth. And he was like, don't tell me I don't know what the black experience is like. I ate dog food. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's the classic black experience.
What the fuck?
He was talking about how he was like homeless and shit. And he was like, you guys can't fucking lecture me. I fucking ate dog food. And I was just like, wow. I got it. That was classic.
So I look and watch this, Jamil. I'm going to prove you wrong again. So to your first question, you can't create conversations when you're on a podcast and the other person isn't. Well, no, we are having conversations because I'm responding to what you're saying. So we're having a conversation. You automatically have the last word. That's not true.
Tyler looks like skinny meatloaf.
Did she just say that? Did she just say that?
Yeah, San Francisco 49er girl. Oh God. I hate you, by the way, Sean. I know what you're doing, Sean.
I was about to make.
Yeah, I just want to say to everybody in the comments, Tyler gets so much ass, it's ridiculous.
There's so many guys he plows through.
Yeah, it's this one right here.
Natasha, I need to turn that.
So fucking stupid. Oh, this is where Sean's checked out. All right. Daphne, question, guys. If you guys were stranded on an island with no food to eat, the only way you could survive is start eating flesh. Who will be the first on the menu? Why? Tyler would be the first to eat ass.
I'd be the first one to eat ass.
I don't know. know, man.
Dead or
Jeff.
alive, baby.
I mean, like if we knew we could live, I think there was no food, I would recommend that we all. This is gonna be gross. Cut off our ass cheeks and just try to survive without ass cheeks.
Yeah,
Sean's not saying anything to fucking win this bar.
He thought it was
Fuck
over.
you! Jamila already said something.
Okay, Jay knows what I'm doing.
Yeah, she already had said something. You
Okay.
fucking dummy. All right, where were we? Tyler, you know who you look like?
Who's that?
Oh fuck.
Should I tell the story?
I think you did before, but not with him here. That was the worst. Nobody had any idea. Oh, and then you brought a picture of him side by side up. You weren't even on the show, Tyler.
Oh, you tell it, Sean.
I think you tagged me in the comments.
It's your story, bro. It's your story.
Well, okay, so Tyler runs this awesome show called The Dope Show. Comic and Tyler does it up. So this night we're doing the show. Jesus Christ, I could be on the Dope Show right now.
There's
the
all
night
those
we're
posters.
doing.
Are those posters from your show up there?
Yeah, this is the first, one of the first Dope shows right here.
And then it was his
And the rest is
concept was
just
stolen by anyways.
Yeah. So we're in Tyler gets a weed bus to drive us from Seattle to Tacoma, and so we do the show, and the show is I go up sober, I tell some jokes, then I get off stage, I get really high and try and go back up and tell different jokes. So the show's over and we're on this ride back to Seattle, which is like a 30-minute ride. I'm high as shit. Tyler's there, who's high, obviously, and then Sean's there. I don't know if you were high. Yeah, you were high. So I'm sitting next to Tyler, and I go.
This was on the bus, right? This was
on the way back. Yeah, I go
on a nice. This is a stretch. It's a limo, to be honest. It's
you
more
paid
of a
me
limo.
for the show,
and I paid you. We're in a green lit. We were like in a nice.
Yep.
On the freeway,
and everybody's happy.
Everybody's having a great time.
Everybody's in a good mood. So I look over at Tyler and I was like, "Hey man, hey man, hey buddy." I go, "Do you know who you look like?" And Tyler goes, I think Sean even said at this point, "No, like
sounds right."
Yeah. And Tyler's like, "Nah, hey buddy." And I go, you look like that vampire from, and you go, "What vampire?" And I'm like, I was like, what's it called? Is it the movie
Bram Stoker's
Diary of a Vampire, or whatever the fuck it is?
Diary of a Vampire.
It's the Interview with a Vampire. Yeah. I was like,
Interview with a Vampire. There you go.
mean like Brad Pitt from Interview with a Vampire? And you're like, no, the other one.
I go to the other one, and then you
like
said
Tom Cruise from Interview with a Vampire.
So Tyler's like, "Oh, Jay's so sweet. He's being very complimentary right now." And then I go, "No, the one from Bram Stoker's." And then you go, "You mean," what was his name?
Gary Oldman.
Yes.
Oh fuck! I'm trying to bring it up.
It was that other dude. It's the other dude. No, not that dude. That's not it.
What?
Look what he just showed.
Hold on, I thought you were talking about fucking Gary Oldman.
That's what he was talking about. That's what he was talking about.
Blow it up! Blow it up!
Now I remember. There's a yeah, right.
So I showed him it, and he goes, "What the fuck, man?"
Oh my god!
And I'm like, "What? You like your hair and everything?" And
Still hurts inside when I think about it.
Sean goes, "Yo, what the fuck?" Oh, fucking Natasha! I can click your comment. Whew, yeah, so then the ride was quiet after that.
I do have to say, of all the people that I could ever compete with on roasts, I'm always afraid to hear what Tyler wrote about me, because he's always just so fucking he's probably one of the best joke roast writers.
Well, if we go back to what he said in the first hour of the podcast, I might refer to you as colored.
Jesus. I said, wasn't it? Did I say colored people, or people are colored?
No. Earlier, what did you say? I'll tell you what you said. No, you didn't say people of color or color of people.
You see how closely they
colored.
sound, though, right? You understand?
He said this was the
That's
colored part of
colored.
Capitol Hill.
Jesus. And then I
God.
go, what? And then you go, I don't know. Fuck.
Oh, God.
So it's okay to make fun of my body.
Oh man,
San Francisco
Fucking
49er
great.
girl said Tyler reminds me of Axl Rose.
Yeah, the healthier
If
life.
he had a healthier life. Like real healthy. Ooh.
Oh, I don't know if I talked to you guys about this, but I talked to Jay about this on Love in Black and White. There is a dating app.
In black and white.
There's a dating app for high school kids now.
No.
Fucking weird.
Can anybody get on it?
Where do
That's what I was
download
saying.
it?
I
God
was-
damn it.
That shit seems creepy as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that I think that they verify it via high school. That's the grossest face you make. But
Just how Sean looks, dude.
can you imagine? I feel like would it have made? I mean, of course, it would have made it easier in high school for us to talk to girls if there was a dating app and it kind of aligned you with. What do you look like the Joker? Ugh, gross. Looks like you have a cleft lip.
Man.
Oh, did you
Not
do that?
that
I
there's
didn't look
anything
at
wrong
it.
with the cleft lip.
I hate that face.
Do you guys? I don't know if you guys heard this story, but you guys want to hear like a juicy bit of gossip
Yes.
that has to deal with inappropriate age dating with high
Yes.
schoolers and a
Oh.
local comedian.
What is the dealio with this?
What is the delia?
It's not so much a delia, but this is like just an unfortunate situation that a comedian was in, and I hope he doesn't mind me telling a story because I want to drop his name. But I'll just give you his first name. It was Mike, and then you can bleep this out. This is live, so I guess you
I'm
can't
not
bleep
fucking.
it out.
I'm not. You think I'm gonna edit this?
Here,
Wait. Give us the Type it in the private chat.
He already said
There
the
we go.
name. I heard it already.
But yeah, you didn't say the last
Yeah,
name though.
I didn't say last name.
Oh, hilarious!
Oh, I thought you said Dalia. Am I
Okay.
not part of this podcast? None of the comments make any sense. I'm looking at the
What is
comments,
happening?
and none of them make sense to me.
Chris Hansen was arrested. What? And the credits start now. What the fuck is happening?
Anyways,
Oh,
okay.
snap,
So,
Jay, what'd I do?
tell me. So Mike
Oh,
goes on
it's
this
so
date
good, right?
or is hanging out with some girl.
No, so there's this like YouTube channel where these dudes have started to do to catch a predator type situations.
Oh, okay.
And like, you know, for whatever it's like I'm for it, but the way they're doing it I think is wrong because
Oh, is it
they're
the
like
young dudes?
Yeah, they're like bros in Texas that are like, yo, we're gonna
Oh.
fuck this faggot up, yo. We gonna fuck this
Jesus.
Oh
faggot up. And
shit!
it's
I haven't
just
seen
like-
that one.
Yeah, we just want to say here on the Love in Black and White,
Right.
on Holling's Worthless podcast that you know we that even when you recite a you know somebody's quote, you know it's okay to use just the F word or the N word or just you know whatever you
Yeah.
want. So
My bad.
Thank God there wasn't a gay minority.
yeah, back to you guys.
So these bros, they're doing to catch a predator, but they're like totally like you know shaming these men
Yeah.
for their orientation, not just for their indecent deeds, you know. And one of the people that was caught on there was a local comedian's roommate.
Oh,
And he was there meeting up with like a 14-year-old or something, and he also works for the local high school area.
wait, can you
and
type
was-
the name in the
Shit.
private,
His name?
or you don't have to? It's fine.
So did
Well-
he get the rose from the 14-year-old? Is that
Wait,
is a game show, right?
Oh my god. Ugh.
wait, what?
Please,
we just want to say here on the Holling's Worthless podcast that underage dating and pedophilia is never okay, and that if you are in danger, make sure that you call 911 or tell somebody who is trusted and an adult. Back to you guys.
Right. So poor dude. Well, not that guy. He's got his own boat that he's gonna be on. But our friend who's his roommate, like he fucking you know, finds out about this, like because that happened like months ago, but you know, of course he didn't come home and tell his roommates, hey, you guys, you won't believe what happened to me when I was in Austin this last week, you know.
Jesus
So
Christ.
he just goes back into doing the normal thing. And then later on, the video finally ends up going viral on YouTube or whatever. Like, 10,000, 20,000, 60,000. Finally, someone's a comment going, "That's my science teacher," or whatever the guy's position is.
Shit.
And it's like, oh no. So then all this shit starts spiraling. Mike finds out about it, and his other roommate, because it's 3 teachers that all live in one house.
Okay.
And he finds out about it, and he's like, I'm doing a show with him. He's like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "Well, you should probably run home and grab all your electronics and get them out of your house. Because if the police raid your place, they're definitely going to they're going to take your electronic equipment. So you should probably do that." Like, that was my advice. I'm like, just go home right now, grab your shit, and get the fuck out of that house. And he's like, "Okay, I think I'm gonna do that. I should go up now." Like, he's like, "I'm gonna go up and do time, then go fucking to his house and just get his shit and move out." And like, by the time he got back there, like, he did like one move, and then like the next day he was gonna grab the rest of his shit. There was already like a mob of people outside the house, like not even police officers, just like, local kids' parents that were gonna beat the shit out of this guy, I guess. And that dude had the same first name as our friend.
Oh, wow. That's
so unfortunate.
crazy.
And they work at the same school. So it's like, no, I'm not that guy. I just happen to live here too. And my name is the same. And yeah, I work at that high school, but I'm not that one.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Insane.
Jamila had a question.
What's Jamila's question? Tyler, did they know that it was a 14, that the girl, or it would have been a boy, right?
I think it was a boy. And yeah, they were like fully aware.
Damn.
It might have been younger too. It was like, I mean, the show was meant to catch a predator.
Read this, Tyler. Out loud.
Oh, so are we going to edit out the part where Tyler aided and abetted a pedo or not?
Wait, I didn't tell the dude to do that. I told my friend, like my friend who's not the dude. No, I didn't tell. They were no
let's
connections.
make that clear.
Yeah.
All right.
Our buddy Mike.
If you're gonna get arrested for pedophilia, you should immediately trash your electronics.
Oh my god, fucking hilarious. I mean, not, but yeah, shit.
Do we get another PC thing?
Yeah, we just want to say that if you do wrong, just fess up to it. Just turn yourself in. As what happened in the Trump CFO case with tax evasion.
Good segue.
Yeah, I turned himself in. What is everybody's thoughts on what's going to happen with those guys? You think any Trump kids will go to jail? You think Trump will do time? I don't think Trump will do time, but I mean, what are your thoughts, Sean?
You know what I love is I haven't seen any news on that. I know it's happening, but I just haven't watched any news, and my life is better for it. So I know nothing.
I'm same.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is I think the state of New York actually they were doing investigations. They found out that the Trump organization had done all kind of tax evasion things to not have to pay taxes. You know, like giving people bonus cars, bonus money on the side, and ultimately, you know, just tax evasion all over that company. And you know, the kids.
Is it tax evasion, or is he just following the rules?
No, it's actual actual tax evasion. So I mean, things that you can't even do at a company that would be legal. It sounds like they've done all these things, but are they really going to arrest the next president? Probably not. But I think his kids might do time, or this Alan Weisselberg guy. So
wow,
we'll see.
Maybe I should look into that. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. All I heard is that, which I didn't give a shit. They said something about like that they would lease cars for the employees, and I was like, what company doesn't do that?
Yeah, so basically they would give cars, and also you know, we're talking about like technically leasing apartments or houses, you know, things like that. So things that you need to definitely tax on your books, but just weren't showing up on the books. They got caught. So I guess
good, man.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Rich people never fucking go to jail. You know, it's like, that's why they have lawyers. I mean, that's why ultimately Cosby got out, right? I mean, or his is a loophole, but I mean, when you have money, you're able to fight the system. It's way easier to be a guilty rich person than it is to be a poor innocent person. So.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, it's about winning and losing, not about what's right and wrong.
Yeah. So, you know, Jamila says his CFO is going to snitch immediately. And I think they're definitely going to try to put Trump in jail. Everyone is going to flip on Trump. because he can't free them. I don't know. I think that some of these people are loyal to a fault. I mean, I don't know.
He is. I do know that part that, as soon as that CFO entered a plea of not guilty, it showed his allegiance to Trump.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna talk. And I have a feeling that he's gonna just be taken care of for not talking. And plus, dude, that guy's mesmerizing to people.
It blows my mind. It's like there are people that have like sent me weird messages, and it's like, hey, bro, President Trump's looking out for me and you. I'm like, no, he fucking isn't. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't give a fuck about us. He cares about his family.
ASL. No president gives a shit about you. Nobody in politics cares.
More.
Dude, it's crazy.
Come on, Tyler. Nothing.
Wait, what'd you say?
What'd you say?
He was saying that he said he started getting weird messages, and I said, like, hey, bro, ASL.
That's hilarious. Good job, Jay.
Come on. Hey,
Oh,
like
man.
you're trying to fuck him.
I laughed at Victoria's comment just so she knows.
Snitches get stitches. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing is, like, I don't. Oh, fucking hi, Jay. Here we go.
Sean hates this.
Felicia.
The comments.
Yeah, Felicia. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. Yeah. What do you have? TMJ? Is that what that's from? You need to get the stress out of your life. So I suggest just meditating for the next 30 minutes in a quiet room.
We're also a medical advice channel.
Where are you guys seeing these comments, by the way?
Oh, click on comments up instead of
you don't
private
see
chat.
under your screen. It doesn't highlight it.
That's so funny. There they are.
Oh my god! 2.5 hours in.
Jesus Christ!
How could you not see them before?
I only see the ones that you like were popping up on the screen. But I didn't know they were there. I've been in the private chat this whole time.
Oh,
That's
man.
so funny.
Okay. Other question I wanted to ask you guys.
Sure, Manny.
Yeah, on the heels of the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight, like who was it? The Game was trying to talk shit about Logan Paul, and like he said that he could beat him up in a fight. I honestly think the Game would get knocked out by, or who is it? Jake Paul. He wanted to fight. I just don't see a trained boxer who's training every fucking day. You know what I mean? And the Game isn't gonna take. What are you looking at, Sean?
I'm trying to understand. And so I honestly, I don't know if I'm fading out or in and out, but I feel like I'm not part of this show because I feel like these comments, I read them and I'm like, dude, did that get talked about just now?
Okay, wait, hold on.
Like example.
Sean, this is actually okay. So wait, N said, Sean, this is actually going great compared to the one you missed last time. Yes. Okay. So our previous.
Did I say something like, "Oh, this is going terrible"?
Well, no, you just look like you're just sitting there like.
Oh, got it. I was okay.
You're saying it with your eyes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I was reading comments. I think I blank out when I read comments.
Yeah.
Okay,
So last time, me and Phil tried to get through like 10,000 stories, and Jay's sitting there. What the fuck are you shitting me? Holy shit!
Oh, that I watched the show. I wasn't on it, but I did watch it when I came back, and I watched the whole thing too, just to torture myself.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Yes, I was amazed at Tyler's restraint about not saying anything about stuff in comment section.
Yeah, right.
His restraint.
Couldn't even use your face said it all, Sean.
Sorry, man. Yeah, I was over trying to read everybody's shit, and I was getting confused.
I'm doing pretty
by
good,
it.
right, Sean?
What?
You're doing horrible.
No, you're actually in control. That was it. That's not a game, by the way. So this is for everybody that doesn't know. This is what happens with Jay. Tyler knows too, I'm sure. So when he gets high, then you'll say something like, "Dude, whatever, Jay," and all of a sudden his face will go. And he actually he's like, "Dude, why? What happened?" Like, no, dude, don't get sensitive.
I don't like your tone, Sean.
Yeah,
Oh man. What were we talking about?
Oh, we were just talking about fights, and then we were talking about
I ruined it.
Any questions from the people in the comments?
Man.
No, I just want to see if they want to ask you a question, Jay.
Oh, I think
it might be fun. Let's play a game. Ask Hi Jay
Ask
what
everybody-
he's doing
anybody,
today.
I love Sean impressions. Yeah, ask any question to anybody. I mean, Tyler's new here. Let's have a fighting bracket.
Oh, that would be fun.
Fight.
Dope.
The game versus a record
Versus
deal.
a record deal.
Mm.
Oh man. Jay High is
funny.
cutest bearded baby. Oh man.
Jay, did you ever share the photo that I took of you on stage that one time?
Where I was like fucking
Never have I ever.
I look fucking insane.
So I took a photo of Jay. Look at this guy.
Look, you can zoom what the fuck?
Look at Jay's face.
Why?
Oh my god,
What
that looks
is
like a
wrong
senior
with you?
citizen.
Yeah, right.
It looks like a senior citizen lady. The fucking-
Where's your eyes at, dude? It's just black.
I got 6 lips. What the fuck?
Oh my god. Here we go. Oh my god, that looked like somebody wearing a Jay Hollingsworth costume.
That's what it looked like.
Oh, what the fuck is happening?
I'm going as
Oh,
Jay for
fuck.
Halloween.
Dude, I know we talked about it before, but that time you were at my house, man, where just I'm minding my own shit. He's sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden he goes, "Wait, what did you say?" I always
He
fucked
goes,
up. You're like,
"Nothing."
"Why?" Or you go,
Nothing.
"Nothing." And I look at you, I'm like, "What do you mean nothing?" You're like, "Nothing." I'm like, I didn't ask you anything. I didn't even say a word. What are you saying nothing to?
Oh my god.
I remember one time you like videotaped Jay getting high and
That's
like
what
sent
he's
me.
talking
Yeah, okay. That video when you sent it to me, I like remember scrubbing it, and it was just like 3 hours of Jay chewing.
Oh fuck.
Oh my god.
The whole thing just.
That is
Somebody
funny.
thought it was a picture of Trump. Oh fuck.
Oh shit.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Fuck. Not yet.
That's hilarious.
Oh shit. Yeah, somebody mentioned every high story I tell. I feel like every high story you've told, Tyler's name is mentioned. Yeah.
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 That was the one where I went to the ER.
Same with Manny.
It was that I was having like I thought I was literally like, and I'm gonna have to PC myself on this, but I literally thought I was so high that I gave myself Down syndrome. Like I didn't.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That
like-
got Norm canceled.
Yeah, I am
Oh,
done.
fuck.
So we just want to say here on the Holly's Wordless podcast that there's nothing wrong with Down syndrome, but I thought that because I couldn't walk and I just
Oh,
was like,
shit.
my motor skills were a little slow. So
We might have
it's been
to
nice
PC
working
that
with
one.
you guys. I can't.
Yeah,
even
that
PC
might have been
yeah.
it.
That might have been it, guys. I'm
I'm gonna
done.
be following Phil right out of here.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Fuck.
fucking done.
Is that why Phil's not here? You got canceled.
Yeah,
man.
no.
What other news?
But I
we
really,
got?
you know,
funny.
it's fucked up. I really thought I had like a neurological disorder or something.
There we
When I-
go.
Yeah,
there we
That's
go.
the right one. Sorry. Ugh.
You
Those
ready to
I
I-
apologize.
what-
to the-
That's
the
back when I
community.
used to cook weed for everybody.
yeah.
Those edibles were crazy, man. I don't
Dude.
blame you.
You said they were for like cancer patients. And
Yeah,
so-
they were like people who were dying and stuff.
Yeah. Because I had never been high before, and I literally was walking down the street like I was tilted backwards. People were like, "Fuck, you were walking weird, man." So it was awful. I called my mom because I thought I was dying. So, and that was at 3 a.m. So
That's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. I always feel bad about those situations. I've ruined a whole party because I did this to it. Like I had I brought a plate of like cupcakes and like I even told like everybody, I'm like, I think these are too strong, but they're like, nah, put them on the table, it'll be cool as fuck. So I just like put a little display of weed edibles at this party, and like you could tell who ate them. You knew exactly who fucking ate them at that party. Like midnight, there were just bodies.
It was bad though. I mean, literally, my heart was beating out of my chest. I thought it was gonna explode. And so that's when I tried to walk down to the police station, and then I was like,
"His name is Tyler Smith."
It was so funny because when I finally came to in the hospital, I was just like,
"I'm already at the police station. What's up, Manny?"
I remember like they asked me, they're like, "Who gave this to you, Mr. Martin?" And I was like, and I started thinking about you, and then I was like, I'm not gonna. I was like, I don't even know. I got this from somebody. It was like, so,
Read this.
Somebody I trusted.
Oh God, so bad.
Read it.
Oh, let's see. Natasha Vincent laughed my ass off. Everything was fine until I tried weed once, and now I have an adult onset syndrome. Yeah, it's fucking awful. I apologize on behalf of Manny got high and took some. Yeah, it was bad. It was fucking awful. I stopped myself I stopped myself right before the police station, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you ate something that Tyler gave you." And then I went back up, and then had my roommate take me to the ER. So that's crazy.
Dude, the comments are getting funnier and funnier every show.
Dude, Tyler, sure, dude, I just remember being up there first time I saw it, and I was high up there with you, and just, I think it was a good like 20 to 30 minutes. I could not stop laughing and crying from laughing.
God,
that picture, we'd look at it, zoomed in, zoomed out, everything.
You look like a stress doll, like one of those stress dolls that you would squeeze.
What did Felicia say? Let's see. I have never been that high, but I've called my family to tell them I love them because I thought I was going to die. Yeah, exactly. That's where I was. I thought I was literally going to die, and I told my mom that. I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, it's been a good ride.
You just gotta tell yourself you're not gonna, and then it's all good.
You know, that's the thing is, like,
you high, Sean?
I left. Are you high right now, Sean?
No, I'm not getting pulled into your fucking bullshit.
What I should have done with that is I should have just stayed with everybody, because I should have stayed with it was Jay, Sean, and it was Kyle at the time. I mean, I should have just stayed at the house, but instead I was like, no, I'm gonna go home. I'm not feeling this. Weed doesn't work on me.
I think Anthony was there too. Like, it was a big group of us after a movie or something.
Yeah, we went to go see a movie. I think Maria
Dude,
went.
You know what? The weed it makes me think about is what is one of the solutions for homelessness?
Oh yeah, I wrote that in the comments. That was
easy. I've just been waiting for my moment. Give me 3 minutes.
I mean, we have the money to do something about it, but also I think there's a thing of like, there are people who just don't want to be on the grid. There's people who you're dealing with addiction. I mean, but I also think we have empty warehouses where we can house people, you know, like, this is going to sound awful, but what if you like retrofitted jails to let people come in and out, but you turn some of those like cells into actual like tiny living spaces?
Oh
yeah.
The fucking Jay extermination.
Jesus.
Oh God. But no, I mean, yeah, I think I mean, you know, those jails that are for profit, you know, it's like, what if we used our taxpayer dollars, which already go to that, and we just retrofitted some of those cells, and we had male and female, so there's no sexual assault in it, and maybe have one for just families, and you know, you screen people for drugs and weapons before they go in, they have a place to stay, and then, you know.
Yeah, and you know, I don't think homelessness is a shelter problem. I don't think that's the problem.
No.
I think it's much bigger than that. And the problem is we've never approached it with any kind of thoughtfulness or like deliberate move. So it's always, you hear it all the time, man. Especially I remember living in Seattle, and I'd always hear this thing. They'd constantly say they just approved $50 million for homelessness. And then they'd say it again, like 6 months later, like, okay, we just approved another 50 million. And then they did it for a third time, and they kept talking about this 150 million. And I always find it odd that they never said, okay, we approved the budget and it's 39,428,528 cents. It's always 50 million on the dot. Like, they always have perfect math. And I think what happens is we just say, what should we do? There's people right there that are homeless, so let's put them into the shelters. And instantly what you came up with was a solution like that. What you didn't figure out was, what is the problem? What is the outcome we want to get to? And then how do we what tools do we use to get to that outcome? We always just throw shit at it. So I've always thought, let's get a little bias here, but if you put a room of product designers into a room and started working through it, man. Don't have elected officials do it. Elected officials don't know anything. They're generally have no experience.
I read the comments now.
Oh man. It did look like Trump. It was fucking hilarious.
It looks like one of those things, you know what I mean?
But Sean, yeah.
It does.
But Sean,
Really,
I mean,
Sean?
I think that it is 100%. I think that politicians don't understand it. You look at Venice. Look at Venice Beach.
Oh,
and
ruined.
it's like it's ruined, and you have a mayor, or not the mayor, I don't know who the guy is, but you've had people constantly complaining, asking him to do something, and none of their calls are returned. And it's just, not, I think that we can do something, but like you said, I think it just takes a smarter thought process.
Yeah, dude, don't go to solutions, man.
Yeah.
Go to the problem first and figure it out.
Yeah, I feel like some of these people, and most of these people, like, you offer shelter to someone who doesn't want shelter. They just want that. They want freedom. They want they want to do whatever the fuck they want.
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I remember leaving my office during work one day, and I had to go take something to the post office to turn it in. And I walked past just a homeless, like, kind of camp, and it just looked like everybody was having fun, man. Like, especially in the summertime, they're just like, no
Dude, being
rules.
homeless is cool as shit. That's
why.
Yeah, man.
I'm sure it has its pluses, but the wintertime, that shit looks awful. So
that's true.
I'm sure it smells great.
They just the government and people who talk about it who have an agenda, it's they romanticize it. So they talk about, the family of 4, mom and dad, a couple kids, didn't have enough pay rent, so now they're out on the streets. And generally that's not true. Homelessness numbers include those people that don't have a home for themselves. So those families that are sharing a room in their parents' house, let's say, they're considered homeless. Really what we have, and we see it in Seattle all the time, or even down here in Venice, is that there's different demographics. There's the mentally, those that have shit to deal with. There's a ton of people who just want to camp. I was that age too, dude. We'd go to Seattle. I mean, we didn't get all homeless style, but we like to kick it down there.
All homeless style.
Shit.
Yeah. No, it's, you think about it. Like when you're a kid, you know what? I feel like one of the happiest times of my life was that moment between graduating from high school and like then going to college, because you had this long extended break where it's just a whole summer just to do whatever the fuck you want, and you're old enough to really have fun and drive.
Imagine doing that for 5 years straight.
You know what I mean? With nobody.
Legit.
But at the same time, I'm sure that shit gets old. Like you when you're cold outside and you can't find food, you don't have money to go do shit. I mean, ultimately, winning the lottery is like the but
what you can find quick is drugs. You can find heroin quick on the street, so that's a huge plus, right? Because that's a big part of it.
Dude,
so
that's the thing.
Gets cold and shit, but I can get super high.
That's the thing, man. That fucking drug addiction. It's like, that's how are you going to combat all of that? It's like,
Natasha made a good point there. I know it might even be semantics, but that's good.
Wait, real quick. I have to take Wrinkles out. He's been holding it.
Well, let's just kill the show, dude. It's been 3 hours. Let's just call it.
Okay.
I want to tell you the story.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Go do your thing, Jay, and then
how long? Wait. How long's the story?
It's quick. I was just gonna tell you about this one time that I accidentally dated a homeless girl.
Me too.
Yeah. So there was this chick I met at one of my shows, and I found her information because she commented on the event page or something, and I asked her if she wanted to go out. We went out, and on the date, I was like, hey, I'm feeling reckless. I'm like, you want to just spill all of our red flags and just get it all out there and just see if we're a match or not? And she's like, sure. And I was like, well, I'll go first. I just got arrested for selling weed. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. I'm facing some stuff, but I just lost my weed just selling job along with that. But I'm a comedian and I'm doing fine or whatever. And she's like, that's so funny. I just got my 4th DUI and I'm homeless, and I'm just living in my van just right outside, and I'm like, oh
yep,
man,
that sounds right.
That sounds about right. And she's like, I'm about to go to jail for a year for my next DUI. That's why I don't have a place, so I'm just kind of living in my van until I'm ready to go to jail. And I was like, oh man. So that's one of the reasons why people are homeless, by the way. So they're just waiting to go to jail.
I will say that
wait. So did you guys fuck?
No, we didn't.
last thing I'll say, which is like, it's crazy to think about. Like sometimes when you think about like, you know, hey, let's make introductions, let's tell who we really are. Me and Crystal had a moment like that with our upstairs neighbor, who was like no longer our upstairs neighbor. But we were sitting there and we were like, hey, let's tell our life stories, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I tell mine. I'm like, oh, I'm from the Bay Area. You know, I do comedy. I do this, blah, blah, blah. Then whatchamacallit, Crystal tells hers. She's like, oh, you know, I grew up in Kent, yada, yada, yada. Then the lady upstairs is like, oh, okay, are we telling the real stories? Then she proceeds to tell us how she was like molested by her brothers and how she remembers like the smell of like semen and all this. And we're just like, fuck, man, this is the first time we met you. And like, my heart breaks for you. But at the same time, I'm just like, what happened to Jay? Is he fucking
Finish your story?
Okay, I'm finishing the story. So anyways, I was just like, we felt like awful, but it's like, god damn, like have filters. You know what I mean? Like that's like a third, fourth hangout kind of shit. Like the first time we all hang out, no. And ever since,
dude.
So did you guys fuck?
Oh my god, it was just awful though. Yeah, I just we don't want to say that like if anybody is doing anything to you in any way, shape, or form that is non-consensual, fuck that person. Not fuck them, but you know, get them out of your life. Report them to the police. God damn it, it was awful, man. I just said we can never fucking make eye contact with that neighbor again.
Fuck. All right, so let's close it out.
Wrap it up.
Well,
plugs. Okay, go ahead, Sean.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. And I guess we'll see if we have to work out what's up with Phil too, everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's up there. I don't have anything to say.
All right, Manny.
Yeah, I just probably canceled myself with all of these fucking weird ass stories, and you know, with my whatever. I'm
watch
just
it back, dude. Like, just watch it back, and if it's, I have a feeling this canceled everybody on this.
yeah, I'm sure the whole show is done, but it's been real. It's been fun. Thank you guys so much for.
Might be our last show.
Yeah.
I'm glad I filled it. I feel like I ruined this for everybody. I'm really sorry.
Well, we know kind of what started it all.
Oh God. Well, I don't need to plug my shows then, I guess. Don't worry. I'm not a performer. Nobody try and cancel my career or anything.
Colorado Springs, I'll be at Looney's Comedy Corner. I'll be there this weekend. Colorado Springs. I'm getting dry mouth.
Big Daddy Chris is right. 3-hour show equals canceled show.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. All Tyler's fault. All right. Who's gonna take it out?
I got you guys.
Oh, fuck. We just said this word to Phil today.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Thank you very much. I love you all. Bye.